meine actual sons. Gang. Gang, it is good to see so many of you in the building tonight. Coming to you live all the way from London, the Fraud Gang HQ. Let's share a drink, shall we? A late night drink, a late night tipple. Just a little one. It's a sweet one. There's no espresso in the building tonight, however. It's not a bad thing because we need something stronger. I salute you. This is going to be a special one, okay? We've been building up to this one for quite some time. We are coming to the end of another year. An incredible year. Champions League final, the night before the Champions League final. The night before the Premier League finale. The transfer window, just around the corner. The World Cup, incoming. There's plenty to talk about tonight. I'm here to take all your questions, comments. Let the roasting begin and the debate ensue, unfold. There is a lot to cover tonight, so we're going to crack straight on and do the headlines because we've got so much to talk about. We got Rangers falling foul in the Europa League, the final. It had to be an Arsenal man. Mbappe's decision on his future appears to be imminent. We've got, of course, the last day of the Premier League season. Arsenal bottling top four at the final hurdle. Shamelessly supporting Norwich City in press conferences, which we will be going through today. Meanwhile, their players are confirming their wishes to stay in France. We will talk about Saliba. We've got Pep Guardiola, of course, buying Erling Haaland because he can't win the Champions League without a striker. We've got Dominic Calvert-Lewin, perhaps Arsenal's next striker. With a last-minute winner, well, 85th minute winner saving Everton from the drop. We've got Patrick Vieira versus Everton fans. We've got Messi to MLS. Jamie Vardy versus Wayne Rooney versus, well, the misses versus the misses. So much to talk about. Of course, we will be talking at length about the arse. I know so many people want to hear. You just want to sink into that bottomless pit of depression. Yeah. You want me to wallow along with you, withering away. Yeah, I hear it. I'm here for you. Tonight is your opportunity to get involved. We will be opening the Discord. Join me for a chinwag. We're going to be bringing you the hardest of hard-hitting home truths that your heart so truly desires. This is your favourite YouTuber's favourite football YouTuber. I see you. How are we all doing then? How are we? Oh. Do we have to start there? Do we have to start there already? I'm not sure I'm ready. I'm not sure I'm ready for you yet. You can wait. Sorry. You can wait. Say hello to a couple of these dons. Where are we watching from? The Fraud Gang are international. We are truly global. Let me know where in the world you're watching from. We do some shout outs before we start. If you have got anything that you want me to go through tonight, please do. Send it in to your boy, to your... One second. We're getting breaking news already. We're getting breaking news coming through already. That has been duly accepted. Yes, I'm ready for that. Cheers. I've raised the glass, but I haven't actually taken a sip yet. Thanks for joining us. I tell you what, we've got Birkin in the building. Callum says it's been a long time. It has indeed. A truly fraudulent schedule. He's got to be up at 4 a.m. for work. Well, there's no sleep for you, my son, because we are going to be here for a minute. All hail. Your boy is back in the building. Recharged, revitalized, re-energized. Ready for, well, ready for the end. It's over, isn't it? I don't know what you're ready for. Why are you getting ready? You've missed it. You've missed the party. Party's over. Tell the rest of the crew. Verbatim, mob deep. Incredible. The streets. There's a war going on outside. No man is safe from. Not even you, Mikel. Because we will be tapping into that ass today, boy. Yeah? Okay. Yeah. Jesus. I got myself a big bottle tonight, yeah? Join me. We're not going anywhere. It could get tasty. It could get tasty. It could get spicy. Just like Arsenal's. We won't go there just yet. Let's just say hello to a couple of the frauds. Come on. All hell. Electric Stardust in the building. We got, where are we? We got Jeffrey's Island. I don't even, is that a place? You're making places up. Copenhagen in the building. Party's not over. I'm still here. Well, that's a goddamn lie, because apparently you're not available for the final game of the season. And to be quite honest, even though you're one of Arsenal's best, you're actually one of Arsenal's worst, because you're never there. And we can't be relying on you. We can't be relying on you, mate. I'm just telling you to your face, yeah? I hope that is you. I like you. I like what you do. But you're not there enough. And we'll get to that. You know? You're doing too much partying as well. Too much partying. And not enough playing. Love from Turin, incredible scenes. Atlanta in the building. Ipswich, North's finest. Manchester, Uruguay in the building. Mob Deep Gang in the building. Mine are actual sons. It's good to be back. Birmingham, I see you. East London, HMP. Yeah, incredible. It's a little holiday at Her Majesty's pleasure. We've got. Where have we got? We got Chicago in the building. We got Belgium, Rotterdam. Jeez, we got a lot of frauds in the building. Mexico, I see you. Norfolk. Let's talk about Norfolk. Let's talk about Norfolk, the great city of Norfolk, the great city of Norwich. Should we talk about these guys? Because Mikel Arteta is doing press conferences saying that we support Norwich City. And this came up on my timeline, and I basically wet myself, because the absolute state of this football fan base is now at the point where we're laughing at each other, you know? We're laughing at each other. The state of this, the shamelessness of this club. I didn't want to do this yet. I'm not ready to do this yet. I'm waiting to just... Oh. It's actually embarrassing how you have managed to throw away the most golden of golden opportunities. I mean, the fucking golden goose that you've got in the back garden, you don't even look after it. Foxes are attacking and you're just sitting there. You're doing sweet FA. We will get into that, and how January was one of the most negligent business decisions that I've ever seen in my life. But before we do, we've got questions coming in thick and fast. If you do want to get your thoughts, or my thoughts, please do send a comment. We've got Gov. Much love to you, Gov. How you doing, mate? He said, oh no, Gov. Isn't Gov a Spurs fan? I think Gov's a Spurs fan. There's a lot of people who are going to be coming to collect tonight. Gov started by saying, thoughts on Kroenke selling the Emirates to their KSE holdings, and then Arsenal having to rent it, then using it for NFL. Officially, Arsenal won't open a stadium. Paid for in full, but renting it like wet spam. Okay. Okay. Yeah, the thing about the sort of refinancing of the Moolah with Arsenal is that obviously we now owe them the money. We don't know what kind of interest they're going to be asking us to pay, or what rates they're going to be asking us to pay back. It might be favourable. You don't know. That might actually help Arsenal. But yes, we're being used by the people that own the club. That is not a surprise at all. Anyone who thinks that suddenly these guys are the real deal, I'm sorry, you got to wake up. We're going to get into that. We're not going there just yet, all right? We're not going there just yet. Please do bear with us. Love from New Zealand, says Louis Fleet. And I think this is still a great season. We've got our first fraud of the afternoon, the evening, the morning, wherever you are. Love from New Zealand. He is, obviously everything's upside down for you. I understand now. Yeah, makes sense. New Zealand. I still... I think this is still a great season. Great, great, great. How do you say great when you say, oh, that's great? Yeah, it's great. You know, great, great. Who is great? Alexander the Great, greatest leader of all time. The greats are the R9s, the Ronaldinhos, the Thierry Henrys. A great season would be winning the league, winning a trophy. Great seasons are not defined by actually messing up. No. I don't even know. I'm not reading the rest of it. I will, but I'm not reading it yet. This is still a great season. I'm blown away by the fucking nonsense coming out of your mouth, out your fingertips. Your fingertips are oozing fucking fraud sauce. Yeah, sticky as fuck. Wash your hands, right? Wash your mouth out. We need to realign expectations with who we are as people and a fan base. I'm sorry to say this, lads. You're screaming out for fucking Norwich City. This is what it's come to. Don't get me wrong. I will have my eye on Norwich City, but we're being fucking delusional and dragged through the mud. As a fact, it's embarrassing what they're doing to us and how just weak. And so, you know what I was thinking? I was thinking this, right? It's nearly 10 years. In fact, in a month's time, it'll be 10 years since I started this channel. Fucking hell. We've been through the mud. 10 years of absolute fraudulence. 10 years of failure. 10 years of downward trajectory, which has, and I won't have it had any other way, has actually shown signs of, let's say, regression. And it is progression. Like the downward spiral is regressing, as in we're going upwards now. Yeah? We're back on the up. We're progressing. That's good. That's positive, right? But hold on. No, not yet. Not yet. Sorry. No way. Because what's actually happened is you've been fucking totally hoodwinked into thinking that we're actually a bang average club and we belong here in 8th, in mid-table. And that's what your expectations were at the beginning of the season, right? Because no one here can tell me that Arsenal should have been finishing in the top 4 at the beginning of the year. Not one person. You'd be lying to yourself and to me. Don't do that. I'm your father. Even if we get 5th, he says, with the youngest team. You got to stop doing that as well. The youngest team. This has got to stop. These players did something incredible. I don't understand the angry fans. Do you think social media plays a part? See, maybe you deserve this. Maybe this is what you want. Maybe this is the life that you want to live. Look, I was buying into this, guys. I really was buying into it because, you know, it's in my blood and it's not going to be easy for me to say what I'm about to say in the next 2 hours. But in the next 2 hours, I'm going to let my feelings known. And sometimes my feelings are what sort of stops me being able to work with the club. And, you know, I'm potentially jeopardizing future relationships, but I actually don't care. I actually don't care because I care more about the club, because that is what really, and the success of the club is what really, it transforms my life, my happiness, my mood. It gets me out. It gets me to do things. We will be in better places. You understand that as a child, you sort of grow up and develop as a result of your environment, right? It's cause and effect of what's around you and what you're taught and shown. Well, if we're hanging around with bums and shitholes, we're going to be bums, penniless bums. Yeah. I don't really want to be entertaining that, especially not on Thursdays. I got a podcast to do on Thursdays, right? You're getting in the way. Jill Scott, you're getting in the way. I'm looking for elite company. I'm looking for big ballers, special players, art of the highest level. I'm looking for the exclusive exhibitions at the Tate Gallery, you know? I'll pay that extra money if I get to see something special. I gotta break this to you, right? They're doing it again, and they think I'm a fucking knobhead if I'm going to sit here and not say something about it. It's actually crazy, because let's not forget, verbatim, top 4 and Champions League were always Arsenal's target. So basically, when we're talking about this season being great, we're being delusional, okay? Because the target, which is always the target, we failed to achieve. Now look, I'm not going to lie, it's not the worst season ever, considering the foolish decisions that you've made, which have resulted in the squad that you've been left with to achieve 5th. That's not the end of the world. But I'm not going to get out of bed and start clapping like some fucking delinquent, or you're fucking, or for carers at 8 p.m. outside. Clap for Arteta, because that's what you're trying to that's what you're trying to make people do. You want Arsenal fans outside their fucking doors at 8 p.m. clapping for coming 5th. You're smoking the fucking flavours, yeah? Do you think social media plays a part? Incredible. What I think plays a part, right? As I was saying, I started this channel 10 years ago, which means that there's people who are watching this channel now who are 21 and they started watching when they were 11. That blows my mind. It actually blows my mind. That means you've not seen shit. Yeah, you think you have, but you haven't. You're new to this. I'm sorry to say this, baby, but you're new to this, baby boy. Okay? You can look back at all the DVDs and YouTube videos and Premier League highlights you want, bro. Listen, it's not quite the same, all right? We've been dragged through the fucking mud for long enough, okay? And there are some people who are going to be very frustrated when they see another season going by with another opportunity wasted. When, let's not forget, we have been promised X, Y, and Z. Judge me in May, they used to say about Arsene Wenger. Yeah, judge me in May. Well, I tell you what, motherfucker, it's May, is it? January, February, March, April, May. It's May, motherfucker. It's judgment time, and I'm here to do that. I can't wait. Let's get down to fucking business. It's time to do some judging. Judge me in May, motherfuckers. Oh, yeah, baby. Listen, because this is my problem. All right, this is my issue with you lot. This is my issue with all of this. Some of the ways that you disrespected Arsene. Yeah. Some of the ways that you disrespected yourself. The way that you carried yourself towards the end of his tenure was disgraceful. I was ashamed of you. Honestly, I was ashamed to be associated with the club for a minute. And the vibe around the place stank. Horrible. I give Arteta one thing. Going to the ground is totally different now. There is a good energy about the place. People have tried to get behind what is a very young squad. And I like the fact that people are together. Arsenal, to me, growing up, was a community club, local. Just a small little stadium between these little cobbled streets. Not cobbled, but, you know, they're tiny streets. It's a very close-knit community thing with local pubs and people you'd see all the time. And it's totally different now. And it's great. It's fantastic. We have grown ridiculously. It's a global enterprise beyond belief. We represent much more than just a local community now. I do get that. But don't get me wrong. Whilst I'm trying to show you there is a difference between this club and what this club was. And I really do believe there is a difference in what you're going to see over the next 5 years to 10 years from this club to even what we're seeing now. Because we are seeing the dregs of one of two things. You got either the end of Arsenal being a competitive side in general, because the competition in the Premier League is super fierce. And I'm not sure that they are, with the right man, not even at the helm at the managerial role, but upstairs, to be able to confidently go up against some of the people who are entering the fray, ruthlessly willing to spend bottomless bits of cash, chasing what is, to them, a plaything. And to some, not even a plaything, something they're going to be taking very, very seriously. Make no mistake, we've got, here we go, Newcastle United fan in the building. He says, I've watched your content for years. Hope you guys still get top 4 because your gems of advice have helped me more than you'll ever know. My now actual son. Much love to your mother. I hope you're doing well. Wolf Cola in the building. No European football. Yeah. No excuse of no European football. No excuse with no European football. All top 4 challengers are busy, occupied, going through transitional periods themselves, new owners, Manchester United going through their problems. This is the first time in my lifetime that we can say once a week is all you have to turn up for. How is it possible that day in, day out, I am seeing records being broken? Records of the wrong sort. It took real convincing for me for a second to think, I even want to buy into this. I'm not being funny, but we will have to look at like the transfer record, the transfer activity. A lot of money has been spent, but that isn't actually the reason why I would point blame at Arteta. It's actually the times they haven't spent money. January is the biggest pointer to me. In full control, games in hand, genuinely points ahead of your rivals. Making decisions like weakening the squad by losing a guy who you may well have written off, but you cannot deny has immediately gone to Barcelona and started doing what we all said he couldn't. Scoring consistently and securing Champions League football. The guy must be fucking laughing at us. He must be having an absolute laugh. I'm seeing the guy on Instagram, posting stories of, what are these fucking, what's the cartoon, the Hadouken thing? What's it called? Dragon Ball Z, yeah? Shiny Dragon Ball Z clothes and boots, yeah? The guy is a fucking grown child and I still love him. If you don't, and you were done, fair enough. But I question whether you've been brainwashed as well. Because it's one thing to be a fan and a supporter of the club, but I stand well within my rights to question foolishness when I see it. And I cannot believe that either a man at the very top or a manager who takes himself half seriously or expects me to can have thought that Eddie Nketiah and Alexandre Lacazette were enough to get Arsenal over the line for Champions League football. I swear to God, I do not understand it. In fact, I'm almost certain there can be no other. Your ego must be unreal. It must be fucking getting in the way, lad. It has to be. It's stopping you getting through doorways at this rate. Your head is so fucking big. I want to listen to some of this press conference because I find it amazing that we are doing multiple interviews immediately after defeats. A PR spin, the likes of which I've never seen before. I've actually never seen it. There is no denying that Aubameyang was on a downturn. He'd stopped scoring. He was missing sitters. He was breaking records himself. There's also no denying that there is a direct correlation with the time when Aubameyang stops scoring and Arteta starts. The football that we are playing is as a result of Arteta. I remember seeing him playing at left wing back. People having a go at him for not tracking back and whatnot. That's fine. Maybe this is the modern game, but we knew what we were getting with Aubameyang, mate. We knew what we were getting. And for anyone to say that he didn't do what we signed him for, you're kidding yourself. The fact that he is potentially, anyway, at this rate, going to be playing Champions League football, I find bewildering. That people are so cool with it. I can remember people tweeting unashamedly, we're saving £29 million on wages with Aubameyang. Who's getting that money? Are you seeing a fucking penny of that money? You clowns. You absolute fucking clowns. You'd rather have money saved than players that can get us over the line. Never mind Aubameyang. If you don't want Aubameyang, change it. Change it to a midfielder. We were linked with Artemelo. Go and get Artemelo. Do you think he could get us over the line? Because it just so happens that we lost our best midfielder at the most pivotal time. And we've got a manager that thinks that once you've lost your best midfielder, the best thing to do is to take the other best midfielder, the next best midfielder, and put him at left back. I backed the manager because it's my manager and it's the manager of my club. But when I see nonsense, I fucking remain, stand up straight, and I will fucking tell you to your face, this is nonsense. You will be called out. You're on fraud watch. You're on major fucking fraud watch. Yeah. One of the main reasons this guy's on fraud watch. He's clearly not war ready. He's not ready for war. He thinks he is. He talks a good game. Honestly, maybe in the future he'll be ready. Trust me on this one. I'm going to prove it to you in the next 1 minute, 30 seconds. This guy is not ready. You've all got brains, okay? Some of you have got less brain cells than others, but I'm going to crack on and just pretend that we're all good here. We're all on a level playing field, because I guarantee you'll all understand this. Okay. Going into the Spurs game. Yeah? Unreal. I've gone to it. I went to the Spurs game. First time I've been to their ground. I don't know whether it's the Rona situation or just life in general, or just me not wanting to go there. I've just not been yet. But I went to the ground. 2 tickets for me and a friend. Paid through the nose. I won't disclose. But you can suppose, okay? I was shocked at how incredible the acoustics were. It's apparently been built specifically for concerts, gigs, whatnot, and it really does show. They have a Dortmund effect with that yellow wall type thing, because there are no breaks to the... It's just... I've never really thought of Tottenham as something, but I'm now thinking they finished ahead of Arsenal for 6 consecutive seasons, given tomorrow going to what the way it probably will. And, you know, that for a long time they were talking about the power shift. You know, I go to the Emirates a lot, and the ground is showing signs of wear and tear. The front is sort of urine stained. There are tennis balls stuck to the sides of bits. There's dirt everywhere, seats rusting. It's not what it once was. And the way that it's been built, I think, is not even as impressive, because we're just not as close to the pitch and it doesn't create that close-knit effect. Anyway, point being, going into that game, you little muppet, yeah? You needed to not lose. That was all. In fact, Tottenham that needed to win. Tottenham that needed to do something. Yet, here we are playing the fucking highest line I've seen since fucking Jesus God knows when. As in, you clearly have no brain, because we are playing a side who are well known as one of the finest, one of the quickest in the transition in European football. We are playing a side who really don't want to take the game to us, yet needed to win, and have looked bang average whenever they've been chasing that. I actually couldn't believe my eyes when I saw El Neni, who for the first 10 had been completely beautifully positioned in front of the back three of sorts, man marking Kane's every move, suddenly drifting into fucking obscurity like Arsenal's fucking status. And it's one of the worst tactical sort of shows that I've seen from a manager for a while. I actually think going into that, he must have thought it's best for us to get a goal and then sit back, or at least I'm just hoping that that was the case. What I saw, though, has given me no confidence whatsoever that going into war, even when you know exactly what is needed of you, and it isn't all that, it's not all that. You don't even have to score, mate. You don't even have to score a goal, because I know you're not very good at scoring goals. It's quite clear. When Emery was around, when Wenger was around, we're scoring 75 a fucking season. Now you've come around 3 fucking seasons in a row. We're barely scraping 55, mate. It's actually you and your football that is clearly the issue. And going into war, and that's what that fucking game is. He clearly didn't have a Scooby. He got shown up. And I'm sorry to say this, but in less time, with less money, Conte has done more. I don't want to hear about an FA Cup. It's a fantastic achievement. It does go down as a historic moment for the club, for him. But unfortunately, it doesn't help us in terms of progression. And what's actually happened is the players that helped you to get that fucking FA Cup, mate, you have one by one cast to the side, stricken out, ostracized, to the point where we're starting to wonder if you have a problem with French people. We're starting to have an issue with, let's talk about the Saliba thing, shall we? Let me just do this. If you don't fire that fraud now, says Gov, Fog on the Tyne will be playing just before Champions League anthem on a Wednesday. You must be losing your mind over us having Conte, while progress after 3 years looks worse than Wenger. Well, look, Arsenal are back to where they've started. That's the issue, isn't it? I can understand him flushing the system. I can understand him wanting to be ruthless enough to change personnel, to get everybody on board. But what I can't understand is how you've needed everybody to be basically... you got no authority amongst anyone of age, basically. That's what it seems like. It's almost like the respect is coming from the youngsters, because that's how it works, isn't it? Who's going to respect you? Who is going to respect you? It's going to take a lot for you to prove yourself. You're definitely not done at it. You've just started. You're learning on the fucking job. No way are players like Aubameyang going to have too much time, especially when they're seeing their own career being dragged through the mud and it being made a scapegoat of, which is ultimately what he was made. Now, look, I'm not done, but I do just want to listen to a couple of words that he's got to say. We are going to talk about the Saliba thing. I've just got to bring a couple of things up, okay? Please bear with me, though.
First of all, thank you all, and probably it's the last day that I'm going to see you after tomorrow. And then we all go on holiday. Just a quick reflection. I think it's been a
long... We're doing end of season reflection talks. He's obviously very keen to go on holiday. Let's not pretend that these guys aren't, you know, handsomely paid and will have been incredibly stressed throughout this year. He's ready to get away. He's had enough, clearly. This, though, is, I guess, going to be a sort of monologue.
Long journey again, and a very challenging one this season, but I think that we have come a long way as a club. And as a team, I think we have transformed the energy, the vibe, and the expectation of this football club again. And we've done together, showing incredible unity between the staff, the players, everybody involved at the club, and especially with our people, which has been incredibly supportive throughout the season, especially in difficult moments. And now I can sense that they have the hope and the expectations to move this club to the place that it deserves. We've done it the way we predicted, with the project that we set a year ago, with a lot of young players, with the senior players helping, and with our crowds again in our stadium, and with a real sense of connections around the place.
The real sort of emphasis on the connection from Arteta there, I really do think that is one of the positives that he can sort of talk about. They are using the Europa League qualification as some sort of success to be proud of, though. And, you know, for the youngsters, I think it is. Just not for Arsenal. That's not an achievement for Arsenal Football Club, reaching the Europa League. And I have to be honest with you, if progress is key for you as a fan, I think it is quite important right now for us to sort of agree that if Arsenal are to finish 5th, which does look like the most likely scenario of all, progress from that can only be top 4, which means, therefore, that next season, qualification for the Champions League is an absolute must, or there has to be something else going on. It's not going to plan otherwise, right? I don't want to hear people saying, yeah, but we've only just signed that striker and he needs another year to bed in, or we've only got this new players and he needs to do. We're not doing this forever, mate. We're not doing it forever. Maybe you are, but I'm already done. I'm already at the point where there are so many fucking things that add up to this being genuinely baffling what we're doing, that I'm fighting desperately, not going mad over it. Because context is essential. It is key. We do need some kind of context. Take, for example, the fact that early on in the season, anyone who had a clue about the club or the signings that weren't able to play in those first 3 games would have expected us to make a comeback. However, we were sort of written off as far as, I mean, we were going to be relegated, weren't we? Spurs were top and we were bottom. Context is important, but I'm not having all these excuses because it's every year, mate. And more to the point, I'll take all your excuses under the sun. But here's the problem. Here's where you fucked up. All right? Excuse my French. But here's where you messed up. You had us there. Someone send me a table. Someone send me a table. I can't fucking do it right now. Send me a table from January. I need to see the table in January because it was in our hands then. Games in hand, points over your rivals anyway. You're able to postpone games. And at this point, with a transfer window, 30 days of a transfer window to get business done, you do not have a leg to stand on. And I said it at the time. Do you know what? I'm fucking playing this video. You've actually done me over now. You've done it. You've actually done it to me. We're going back. We're going back. A month ago. 1 month ago. My days. Do you know what? Actually painful. So predictable, bro. You were sort of, I'm going to play this. Those in need of a further Arsenal therapy session, we are now in process. Get yourself some refreshments. Sit back, gather round, because I've got some shit I need to get off my chest. Comedy Club 1, Brighton and Hove Albion 2, Brighton at the big carpet at the M's. Seagulls and Pottery. Potter. What a manager. We did a Twitter Spaces last night. I didn't do a video. I genuinely couldn't face it. I am now hiding. Comfortably numb. Oh, and Pink Floyd. This is going to sound depressing to some people, but I feel like I'm genuinely so used to this. Yep. Correct. Who is this guy? I have got the t-shirt so many times. I have, yeah. That I'm just starting to get a little whiff of a collapse of Emery-esque proportions. Oh dear. And there's part of me which actually thinks it's over. I can't pretend. You know, this is a home of hard-hitting home truths. Correct. And I don't want to come across as negative. I really didn't want to do that last night. That's why, especially, I didn't jump on and do a reactionary video. So I thought I'd get other people's thoughts and sort of, you know, share the pain. See if I could get some hopium. Yeah. And if not, then we could all suffer like clucking addicts. Yeah, suffering together. Ramadan. You're doing this during Ramadan. Yeah. You're not helping, are you? Sure. Really? Shut up. And I'm not being funny. I can smell fraudulence from a mile off. You already know. Listen, Brighton. I don't know how many games we played after that, but they gave us more hope. The fact is, the hope was resting on this little bald guy who's one of the most finished footballers you're ever going to see in your life. We've rested all of our hope on this guy's shoulders. And in fact, only switched to Eddie Nketiah at the last minute. Eddie, God bless him. He means no harm. He's a good lad. It's just not to be. It's not meant to be. It wasn't meant to be for you at Leeds United. So if you can't get a game for Leeds United, how are you starting for Arsenal Football Club? With all due respect. What's happened here? Negligence. That's what's happened here. Because we've got a double golden boot winner. Yeah, a captain of his country who's now firing on all cylinders for fucking Barcelona and has got them Champions League football, who you're happy to get rid of because he was quite clearly not fucking towing the line. That's what we need, isn't it? Line towers. We need a bunch of line towers. Are you capable of being a fucking silent working slave? That's what we want, right? We want workers. Okay, we don't want artists, creatives. Mate, we need to sign some fucking attacking players. That's a part of this issue as well. You've signed Willian as your one forward. Mate, imagine if they sack you in the only fucking signing you made to score goals. Scoring goals is how you win matches. But the only one that you fucking signed that's good score, fucking hell, mate. Willian is the hill that you want to die on. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. Let's have a look at your transfer record, shall we? Let's have a little look. Let's have a little look. We've spent 6 mil already this season. Incredible. Wow. We've spent 6 mil already. This window, I hope you're ready for the signings of the summer. Yeah? 2 American starlets in Matthew Turner and Austin Trusty. I'm super excited about these guys coming to the club. They are potentially, I mean, Matt Turner is the MLS goalkeeper of the season. £5.73 million. Who's excited? Where the fuck?
I would say that, you know, be excited.
I would say you're full of shit, basically. That's what I'd say. But anyway, don't mind me. Let's talk about Matteo Guendouzi for a second, shall we? Matteo Guendouzi, who's obviously been talking in William Saliba's ear. I mean, undoubtedly. At first, I was thinking they're probably in a WhatsApp group together. And then I was like, no, they genuinely live together, play together, eat together, sleep together. Like, they probably don't sleep together, but, well, maybe they do. Maybe they do. Maybe they're roommates. Either way, they're fully Arteta outers. Yeah? I hope you realise, Mikel, you fucking clueless dons who are thinking that this guy's coming back to play for this guy who has given away his fucking number, has taken away the golden opportunity of a lifetime for him to have a cup final with St Etienne, his boyhood club. He's a fucking Arsenal fan. Someone send me the picture. What an actual joke. Oh my God. I've just seen, where is it? Oh no, get off the screen. Not ready for that yet. I'm not ready for that yet. Listen, where's this picture? I've seen a picture today that just broke my heart, man. I was just like, what the fuck? Are we serious? Where is he? This picture, mate, if we... Okay, sorry, I just got to get it from up here. Bro, you know what? I look at that and I see myself. If we fuck this up, I'm going to be fuming. And if we fuck it up, I'm not going to lie, I'm going to start... I hope he does really well. I hope he shines in his career. He looks like the real deal, mate. He's League Young Player of the Season. Mate. Oh, mate. We're playing fucking Rob Holding. He's played Pablito Marie. Yeah? Pablito Maria. Who? The great thing about Wenger, right, was you could be sure that he was going to use players that were going to fuck it up because they were too young, right? But they're learning on the job. That's going to happen, and they're going to become better as a result. This guy's going to have to come to the Premier League if he does come, and he's going to have to learn on the job and make mistakes again. So what's he going to be crucified then as well? I don't know whether this was the right decision. Some people will look at it and say he's had an incredibly successful loan and spell, and that should be exactly how loans go. Some people say it's fucking muggy, mate. He spent 30 mil on a fucking defender that looks like he's world class and could be going elsewhere ASAP. He definitely don't want to come to us. And if he does, I'm down for it. He could produce one of the most sensational partnerships with someone like Gabriel. Beautiful balance. And there's no telling me, absolutely no telling me, that he is not twice the defender that Ben White is currently. You can argue all day until you're blue in the face about his footballing ability on the ball. Defensively, there is no comparison whatsoever. I'm sorry to say that. And that's off the evidence that we've got so far. Look, there are a whole bunch of tweets going around today. Let's just bring a couple up, shall we? Saliba, wow, incredible club. Wow, what are we doing here? I mean, you cannot tell me that top clubs are not going to be looking at this guy as well after the season that he's just had. But unfortunately, and some people are going to sort of balk at the sources, but there's plenty of sources available. I've just chosen the first one that come up. Arsenal loanee William Saliba telling Marseille that he wants to stay at the club next season. And the way that they could facilitate that happening is another loan deal, I guess. I'm not sure that they have the transfer ban actually starting until October. I think it's got to go through the Court of Arbitration for Sport still. So let me know your thoughts. Maybe some people will be done with this. Some people just don't really want the fuss. They're not that bothered. And, you know, I said before, I don't have emotional attachments to anyone. But I just think this is foolishness. Is this business savvy? This guy looks like a Rolls Royce of a centre-back. They were calling him the Mbappe of centre-backs. He certainly looked the part against Mbappe when I've been tuning in a lot, I'm not going to lie. Guendouzi's doing the business as well. They've just been called up for the French squad. Yeah, both Saliba and Guendouzi, both called up in the latest French squad for the Nations League matches. And this is what I'm expected to believe is not good enough for Arsenal. That's what we're being told here, that either these guys aren't good enough or that they are not capable of sort of reining their behaviour in, or that we don't have or we've got a manager who isn't capable of sort of controlling these personalities or managing people in general. And the worst thing about this for me, lads, is what happens when you work in a place where you are disrespected, or basically where your boss is a twat. What happens is word spreads, yeah? Because if my boss is a twat to me, I'm likely to come home and tell the missus, Jesus, this guy's a right twat. Yeah? Now, if it's anything like Rebecca Vardy and Colleen Rooney's situation, word spreads like wildfire. And before you know it, you've got potentially half of the French future of football all forgetting completely about Arsenal as a potential destination for them to move to. How do we know that these guys are not poisonously spreading the word that we are not the place to be entertained right now? Because, as you can see here, both Guendouzi, one of 5 midfielders included, and Saliba is there as well. I am not shocked at the incredible sort of I mean, it's almost like you're working to the detriment of the club in general in terms of business. Let's just have a look at the signings, the money that's going in and out of this club, because I've got to be honest, it's absolute fucking fraudulence that I've never seen before. Actually, I have seen it before, last year and the year before and the year before that. But £2.8 million for Konstantinos Mavropanos. It's being reported in the press as about 4.5 million euros that Arsenal are going to receive for a Greek centre-back who is not only a fully fledged international now, but is actually being scouted by the likes of Bayern Munich. And it's basically not only just been purchased for a fraction of his value, but is on the verge of being sold for double the amount that Arsenal paid, which is a lot more than we've made. It is, once again, financially actually a joke what Arsenal are doing to themselves. We can say that we are making progress, but honestly, I remain to be fully convinced. There's a lot of work to do at this club, and I swear to God, the transfer window is another fantastic opportunity for you to really judge what direction Arsenal intend to go in the future, because as it stands, there is new competition, and people do say this every year, but there is new competition that is serious. I'm sorry to say this, man. You know the Spurs game we talked about, where I told you that Mikel Arteta's disaster class was one of these signs that really showed me that I don't think he's up to this job. Another sign that this man is not fully up to this job, which has been excused laughably on the atmosphere at St James's Park, is where Mikel Arteta was not only completely outdone by Edward Howe, Edward Howe, completely outclassed by an English manager who plays a beautiful brand of football, but also in another shocking, inexcusable sign of complete negligence at the expense of our great club. I watched a Brazilian midfielder absolutely controlling the game to a level that made Arsenal's midfield look, how can I put this? Bang average. In fact, that performance by a man who quite clearly still has a grudge to bear against Arsenal Football Club for dithering, wasting his time in the window, who made a mockery of Arsenal in the unveiling, bantering with tweets from journalists I've never heard of. This guy played Arsenal off the park. And do you know the fucking embarrassing thing? I know Arsenal fans who are still, to this day, sat here trying to convince their sorry little selves that Granit Xhaka is anything near to what Arsenal require or deserve. The absolute cheek, the absolute fucking spineless, backboneless fucking of some of you to actually be clapping for interviews for this fucking fraud who's come into the club and has been at the helm whilst we have genuinely sunken, a sunken ship. Coming out and saying that some of these players don't have the balls and shouldn't have showed up if they weren't ready for the challenge that they were going to face against Newcastle United. Like he was, like he wasn't on the pitch. Huh? Like he wasn't on the pitch playing. This was karma working its beautiful magic. Its very best. This is a manager who has had, again, less time, less money, and has a clear, defined style of play. The people behind him, the crowd together, and is making some really potentially average, or not average, I just like bargain signings, like 12 million for Trippier. A centre-back who understands the club. I mean, he's a big, lanky piece of street, but it's been a lesson. That's what it's been. It's been a lesson because in a very short space of time, I actually believe that they can do something there. I even believe that the style of football and the way that Bruno has been able to... He's transformed fucking Joe Linton into an engine, an absolutely integral part of their side. Yeah. I was very sad when this deal didn't go through. I've got to be honest. He's a top player. Absolutely top player, top midfielder. I don't know about the peroxide blondes, but they made it work on the day. And Arsenal have missed out massively. And again, that to me is an example of negligence, of your ego, of you thinking that we are sort of above this, whilst other teams are genuinely very swiftly closing the gap. Anyhow, as we say, we've got a couple of signings coming in Matt Turner and Austin Trusty. So summer has started before the season's even ended. And of course, we've got new kits ready to go at Arsenal as well. Don't worry. It's not the end of the world. Like I said, the European football in general is an achievement for those youngsters. Look, I'm not gonna let's actually have a look at some of these kids. We got the kids, the new core, the Arsenal core. You've got to say, like, what I've got to say, right, is part of the reason why a lot of people have bought into this, why there's been so much positivity around the club, is because these guys have really carried the club. They have really sort of, I think, outdone themselves. It's time for some hard-hitting home truths. Because I'm looking at 5 players here who are being called the core of Arsenal. And I believe that this is part of the problem. This is part of Arsenal's problem. This is your core. Your core needs schmore. Your core needs schmore. Right? Your core is actually quite poor. These are the cold, hard facts. Kieran Tierney, number 3, an incredible £25 million signing, I believe. Scottish international, blah, blah, blah. Barely plays football, legs are broken. And when he is available, he's looking like he's on the downward turn a lot of the time. You know, there was a period of time where he looked like the most important player at the club. I'm now convinced that part of Kieran Tierney's effect is sort of atmospheric. It's sort of passion. That's what we really get here. We don't get a lot of football. He does have a torn knee, as it were. Number 11, the newly crowned number 11, Gabriel Martinelli. This is Arsenal's number 11. Now, a lot of people are going to say, yeah, numbers, schmumbers. But those people are clowns, okay? Numbers are important. They can be a selling point for some of the top players. Some players will demand numbers. Granit Xhaka certainly did when he came to the club, stealing his own number off Francis Coquelin. Fucking joke. Coquelin, Champions League semi-finalist, yeah? Okay, all right then. 34 in the building, yeah? Okay, about big balls. You fucking acorns, mate. Gabriel Martinelli has scored 1 goal, 1 Premier League goal in 5 months. We're now in January, February, March, April, May. We're in the 5th month, yeah. We're nearly through the 5th month. We're nearly in 6th month. 1 goal in a year, in this year. Very talented player, very talented. He's got a lot of talent. I'm not sure he's got the best brain. I don't think he's got much of a brain. Decision-making is not his strength. And fortunately, he doesn't have enough quality around him for him to be picking up what he should be doing as well. And it's almost the complete opposite of Bukayo Saka, who I actually believe Martinelli is technically more gifted than Saka. But Saka's decision-making is elite. It is elite. It's very, very swift. What's not elite is Saka's return. Saka's return is actually quite average, and you can make a pretty calm, swift business decision in the near future, or you can see that happening as well, because he is now entering into what will be 2 years left on his contract, meaning If he doesn't sign one this season, it's last year of the contract, and that is a problem. Is he potentially someone that Arsenal will be looking to cash in on? I tell you what. Give me a price. Everyone's got a price. Because if you gave me a price for Emil Smith-Rowe, who is Arsenal's number 10 with 1 assist in 28 appearances. Arsenal's number 10 who can't stamp down a place on the left-hand side. Never mind for Martinelli, but potentially for someone else who is coming in. It's a lot of responsibility. It's a lot to ask. Is he actually the guy? People have been comparing Arsenal's number 8 to a certain German generational talent. God. I know you're young. I get it. You're young. You're new to this. It's cool. You know, the sort of number 10 role, I guess, is dead. And the fact that this guy certainly runs a lot is appreciated. But I have to be honest with you, lads. Unless it is a beautiful afternoon, a beautiful summer's afternoon in a London Emirates carpet with huge amounts of space around him where he has time, air, breath to think about things, plan things through, and thread that square ball, there's not anything really happening. Nothing that really sets the world alight. These are, by definition, to me, 7 out of 10ers. 7.5ers to 7 out of 10ers. Maybe on a good day you get up to an 8.2, but honestly, we should not be expecting more. And that is not a problem for them. That is not a problem for me either. They are perfectly good squad players. They are not star individuals who should be leading the club forward. They should not be bearing the brunt of the pressure. And this is another reason that I point fingers at the manager. Unfortunately, even if Arsenal do make top 4 with Timu Pukki scoring a fucking 14th minute hat-trick or 14-minute hat-trick against a Spurs side who've all had food poisoning the night before. But I tell you what, you don't deserve that. You don't deserve it. And you're going to have to make some serious changes. Because 3-0 down against Spurs. Absolutely no chance of getting back in the game. I'm seeing Bukayo Saka playing a full 90. Almost as if you don't actually understand what's at stake with this kid. I've watched plenty of footballers, friends of mine, who've actually had their fucking shit burnt out and they are almost either or actually crippled. It happens. You walk with a limp now. People you watch on TV every day. Mika Richards is a classic example. One of the most dominant forces for his age. Unbelievable talent. Completely overplayed in one of the most physically demanding roles. He will be broken, snapped, and won't ever recover. The same thing will happen to Saka if Arsenal aren't careful. We're running him into the ground, and it's actually fucking embarrassing how he has nobody to look up to at the club. He is the main man, and he is going to be fully aware of that. And that should not be the case. So again, it's judge me in May. But we are going to have to do some more judging during the transfer window to see exactly where this club are and where they intend to go. I just cannot believe that Arsenal have given the 7 to Saka, the 10 to Smith-Rowe, the 11 to Martinelli. I cannot believe it. Do you know what? I wouldn't be surprised. I actually wouldn't be surprised at all if Arsenal don't get back into the Champions League for many a year. I just wouldn't be surprised. I tell you what as well, I wouldn't be shocked if something mad happened tomorrow as well. Day after tomorrow. Life is funny. But on paper, like, I looked at that team the other day, man, and I was embarrassed. I was embarrassed. You know, Ramsdale is shaky as fuck. I used to be calm when you got the ball. Now I actually don't trust you. You're more interested in... no, I'm not going to say that. You're not more interested in doing fish and chip shop adverts, but let's be honest, mate. You're doing a lot of socials. Why are we doing this much socials? Huh? Can we just relax and get back to concentrating on balling? Because you started doing interviews celebrating 9-game winning runs. You started doing interviews every time we fucking got close. Only for me to now see you hesitant on the ball. Passing isn't all that. You've let in 16 of the last 17 shots on target. That is woeful as a return. That is woeful. And we've disrespected Leno. These are the facts. He came back in. He did us a job. And we cast him back out again. And he's got a habit of doing this. Done it with Lokonga, who had... No, he can't have a social life. What, you think you can do chip shop adverts and I won't call you out for it? Mate. We just switch over here. Listen. I just worry that there's an injury there. That's all. I worry that there's more to that. I worry about Tomiyasu. I worry that he is not naturally a profile that you associate with being a wing-back. Yes, he looks solid, but really against San Maximum, you really saw that he's more suited to a centre-back role when he comes up against a serious guy. He's breaking his ankles. We are going to be going into a window being linked already with defenders. Bearing in mind that this guy's only signed one forward. Yeah? We're being linked with more defenders. And we're being linked with defenders to replace the defenders that you signed. Is that not a problem? I can't remember the specifics of it, but Cedric Suarez was given a contract after one fucking game. A 4-year deal after one game. We're not thinking things through properly. That's for sure. I'm not done with you. Because this is something that keeps popping up as well. Mikel Arteta, determined to reinforce the idea that this is the youngest Arsenal squad of all time. Yeah, these kids are fucking nursery children. How dare you criticise Granit Xhaka? He's still going to fucking kindergarten 3 days a week. He still eats jam sandwiches cut into squares. How dare you? I'm looking at the fucking age of these kids. Mate, Saka's 22. What? Let me just confirm this. Saka, age. He's 20. All right, he's 20. I'll let you off. Odegaard, how old are you? Odegaard, you're 23, bro. Odegaard, you're 23. Lokonga, how old's Lokonga, bro? How's Lokonga, bro? Lokonga, 22. Hold on a second. Hold on a second. Hold on a second. Hold on a second. How old's Kulusevski, bro? See what I'm saying? Have a look at this, mate. Have a look at this, mate. Okay, so it's not really going to work what you're doing there, all right? not really washing with me. Where's it gone? Oh, you see what you're doing? You see what you're doing? You're trying to get... I see what you're doing. Mate, I'll get another copy. I'll get another copy. You're not getting away with it, bro. You're not getting away with it. This is a myth. Yeah? Brainwashing fans. These fucking delinquent fans who are so gullible, they're buying all your bullshit, right? No. We're going in today. We're going in. We're going to have it. There we go. Arsenal are not the youngest Premier League squad in the past decade. No. They're not only not the youngest squad in the last Premier League decade, they're not even the youngest Arsenal squad. What I find fucking hilarious, right, is that if you scroll down to where we are now, the average age is 25.2 years, they're saying. 25.2. Well, we've already done that in 2011-12. Guess who was fucking playing in 2011-12 for Arsenal? Mikel fucking Arteta. So you can't even pretend to be completely ignorant about this one. You are just plain lying through your teeth. This is PR spin gone fucking nuts. They are young, don't get me wrong. So were they, 2010-11. I can remember watching kids surrounded by kids, yeah? Real kids. These are not all kids. They're not all kids. Sorry. Let's go from the back. Ramsdale, how old is Ramsdale? Is he 23 as well? I think he's young as well, right? Ramsdale, age 24. Okay, bro. We're just sort of, what are we doing? You're 24, 25, that's a great age. We don't need to be doing this with the youngest, and therefore it's an achievement. Now, this is the choice that you've made. These are the players that you chose for your squad after multiple transfer windows now and of shedding deadwood. I don't want to hear anything about youngest squad anymore. This is the squad that you've chosen, and there are plenty of other young players and squads doing the business in the Premier League. Aston Villa did this exact same thing last year. This is all nonsense. That's a case closed. What's this? Kane feeling unwell, not 100%, and will be assessed. Mate, are you doing this to yourselves? Are you actually winding yourselves up like this? Are you actually tormenting yourselves and supporting Norwich City? Norwich City. These are the fucking levels. This is how far the bar has fallen. The bar is no longer the floor. The bar is underground, on the tube, 2 escalators down on the fucking Victoria line. What a joke. What a fucking joke. Norwich City. I can't do it, lads. I can't do it. I've got no fucking... No, I'm not doing it. I'm not doing it. Should we look at their form? Should we look at their form? Form table? Norfolk, yeah? Norwich, the home of fucking farmers. The home of the finest mustard this side of the equator. Pork sausages. Pigs that may fly, but probably don't. The home of Chris Sutton, Rule Fox, and the inaugural Premier League season. They are bottom and consigned to the Championship. Delia, yeah. What else is in Norfolk apart from fucking tractors and fucking 6-fingered fucking Goonies looking dons? Really. Norwich against Spurs. They got a draw in their last game. My God, they've scored a goal. They've scored their first goal for 4 games. This fucking hell, mate. This is atrocious. These are the levels, right? This is the fucking levels. We're hoping, right, that the worst team in the whole country, yeah, in the whole fucking league, who've scored 1 goal in over 5,000 minutes of football, are going to beat the 4th best team in the country who've actually been to a Champions League final within the last few years. Are we actually on the pharmaceuticals? Is that what we're doing? We're addicted to the what we popping? Pills and pills of pop. Yeah, pop and pills of pop. Okay, I see it. I hear it. I'm clinging onto the hope as well, but honestly, it's pathetic. Have a word with yourselves and start to look at what the actual fucking issue is, because I've done that. With new information, I will reassess, and whereby you have fucked this up royally, you will be being reassessed. It's Judgment Day, motherfucker, and I'm coming for your clot. Relying on Norwich. You're an embarrassment. What's an embarrassment? We shouldn't be fucking relying on anyone when we were relying on ourselves. Actually fucking disgraceful. And this is the shameful thing about it. I've got people in my fucking DMs trying to tell me, oh, you didn't expect to get 4th at the beginning of the season. You didn't expect to get 4th at the beginning of the season. Oh, you didn't expect to get 4th. Listen, you fucking knobhead, right? This is how it works. If I'm 4 years old, I don't expect to be able to have a fist fight with a grown man. Yes? But when I'm 16, we can fucking reassess. So don't piss me off. Yeah? Do you get it? Fucking 4-year-olds. Yeah? We're not 4-year-olds forever. What is this? Benjamin Button. We're going backwards, lads. Backwards. You're trying to convince me that 4 steps backwards and 1 step forwards is actually fucking forwards. No. No, mate. We're still backwards. We're still fucking miles behind. And do you know what the fucking funniest thing is? You disrespectful fucks. You're still behind where you were when Wenger left. Yeah? Don't forget it. You're still behind. You still got work to do. You still got trust to earn, Austin. You still got fucking processing to do, Josh. You're still a fucking joke, Mikel. Going to Spurs with needing a fucking draw or not to lose, and you bottled it like that. Absolute joke. And you expect everyone to be calm. No, fuck off. If you're in the comments telling me to calm down, go and fuck yourself. Yeah, go and fuck yourself. It means a lot. It means, it could have changed my life. I could have been going around fucking Europe in the sunniest spots in fucking Madrid. Oh, yeah, Andalusia. The fucking peak of... Listen, I want to go to elite destinations. Yeah? Not war-torn countries that are fucking... Like where half of our fucking population are banned, yeah, or some of our players aren't allowed in. Joke. For too long, we've fucking associated ourselves with this fucking bang averageness, yeah, and now it's become you. Well, it's not fucking me. You see me, yeah? I'm fucking fresh to death, baby, and I'm staying that way. This club have got to start to represent me again. Bring some fucking stars in. Bring some fucking ballers in. Bring some dons who can score goals, because quite clearly, you haven't got a Scooby how to do that. You go 1-0 down and you're fucked. It's absolutely over, and you know it, and that's pathetic. No plan B. Believe me, your tears are scrumptious. Mate, you're bald as fuck. Relax, yeah? Oh no, that's the shadow. You've got a little bit of hair. Sorry, I'll take it back. Sorry. What a day. What a day. How dare you as well? Tottenham 3-0, Newcastle 2-0. And you're trying to tell me that this is fucking fine. Given where we were? No way. Let me see the fucking form. The 5-game form. The 10-game form. 8th. Fucking hell. What an absolute joke. 6 years we have been chasing Spurs in terms of the final league positions. And this weekend, I will be going live for a stream because fuck it. What else have we got to do with our sorry little lives apart from wallow in despair and watch as the drama unfolds and hopefully pray to the sun gods, Ra, and whoever else that we can get something out of the fucking game. Norwich City, my new fucking children, because I tell you what, my own fucking pricks are getting sold for adoption. Yeah, you bums. You let us down again. That's the facts. These are the cold, hard facts. And I'm sorry to say it to some of the guys who actually deserve credit. I feel sorry for players like Saka. I do. I even feel sorry for a player like Smith Rowe. It's too much responsibility. It's not his fault. Players like that should not be given that much responsibility. Not at this level. They're not ready. They need help. They need people to look up to. Let's go through some of the comments. We have got so many tweets as well. My sons, I see ya. Okay. There are plenty of positives. Would you like to do some positives? Indeed. Plenty of positives. For sure. It's all about your glass, isn't it? Is your glass half full or your glass half empty? I'm running out of time, mate. When you run out of time, your glass, I think, just starts to turn into a more pessimistic, skeptical glass. That's just what it is. There is also a lot of other stuff that I want to talk about tonight. So I'm going to whiz through a couple of comments and just get through some of those questions so that we can move the conversation on. If you've got anything in particular that you want discussed, now is your opportunity as well. Please do get into the comments. Wolf of Cola, Lesby Avenue, he says, Carzola, Fabregas, Vieira, Petit, Lumberg. That's quite incredible, Wolf Cola. You've spelt each and every single one of those incorrectly. I'm not sure whether you've done that on purpose. I think you must have done. Is there a reason why you're Carzola, Fabregas, Vieira without the I, and Petit with an E. Lumberg with 2 G's. Emil Smith Rowe is the end of that list. I'm not sure why. Yeah, I really don't understand what the sort of correlation is between Smith Rowe and Santi Cazorla. If only because they're footballers. That's about it. That's all I can really... Look, Smith Rowe is going to have to improve his physicality. He's got a lot to learn. I do think he's good. He's just not good enough to be a starter for me yet. Maybe he can improve and be that. He was good enough at the younger level. It's a big step up, though. Aram Hemkat, or Heck... Sorry. You dyslexic fuck. Aram Heckmat, even. Where is that? Where's it gone? Oh, yeah. He says, it could be worse. You could support United. We're finished this year. The year football died for us. From top to bottom, we're starting again. Yes, indeed. Manchester United are completely finished. They're actually further behind than Arsenal, I believe. However, I would always say that with a pinch of salt, if only because the clout that United have got, I think from their own success, rightly so, means that they will always be in the conversation if they want to be. They can spend that much money, but I don't think people realise this. But United, right, are so far behind their rivals and their fans' expectations that it is going to take years for that to turn around. I kid you not. This Ten Hag Don is not going to work. Not like people think it is. Perhaps people are now more willing to buy into a project that is going to take a few years. And this is part of the positives for me and Mikel Arteta with Arsenal. I'm at the stage now where when they gave him the new contract, I was slightly miffed. In fact, I was completely baffled, bewildered, blown away by the fact that they had done it when they had. Announced after 3 defeats, apparently, or gifted to him after 3 defeats. But there is a caveat to that I don't actually mind. Because I am now, I've told you already tonight, almost fully convinced that unless they can show me something drastically different and inspiring in the transfer window by signing some sensational star talent who can actually ball out for this club and score ridiculous amounts of goals like an Alexis Sanchez could, then he will not be lasting long in the job. and as a result of this contract, will simply be getting paid. That's it. That is it. The main problem with that, especially if he gets reinvestment this summer, serious investment, is that we could be left with a situation where yet again a manager who wants to come in and do his own things and put his own stamp on things will need to flush a whole bunch out again. And you know what that means? You're going to have to trust another process. You're going to have to sit tight and wait for another few years whilst people warm up and get used to the place. The alternatives in football now, which seems to be the way that the game has gone, is we get instant results, and there is a 2 to 3 year cycle for a manager. If you can't do it in that period of time, you are out on your ear. This may well be an exception to the rule, but for me, he is now entering into that final stage. It is now a non-negotiable. Yeah, you like that. Yeah, this is now a non-negotiable. Progress for Arsenal Football Club has to be Champions League football. Top 4 alone will do. Top 4 and Champions League football will alone suffice as progress. Which means if you can't get that, you're gone. That's that. And to me, hindsight is a wonderful thing. If I could have gone back and changed after the Villarreal defeat, I have to say I would have done. I think it was a fucking absolute embarrassment that we didn't. And I think Unai wasn't the right guy for Arsenal due to the communication thing. But I think it's amazing what he's done. And all Arsenal fans, deep down, I hope you do feel a little bit of shame again, because we treated him badly as well. And he's done an incredible thing with a cheap squad and one of our own. Fucking hell, mate. Francis Coquelin, a man who you said was shit, bro. You said he was shit. Yes, you did. Don't lie to me when I told you he was better than Kante that season. I told you that. Champions League semi-finalists. Mental. It is a funny old game, you know. Unai, the laugh of his life. Imagine the laugh he must have had. Winning that Europa League against Manchester United. Beating Arsenal. Oh, wow. Mikel Arteta, his replacement, absolutely duppied. Actually bent him over and just pumped away for about 20 minutes till he was done. It was disgusting. X-rated. But we go again, you know, because you've got no choice. Motherfucker, you got no choice. You're buying into this project whether you like it or not. In fact, you're probably buying those 3 kits, aren't you, you dozy twat? Let's have a look. Shall we have a look at the kits? Let's have a look at the kits, shall we? We've got kits. Come on, mate. Come on, mate. Show us the kits. This is what Arsenal do best. Yeah? This is what Arsenal do best. Oh, the kits. Arsenal kits. Geez, we've got 3 new kits available. Wow, incredible. We've got a little poll here. Oh, this is fun. This is what we do. Oh, actually, sorry. So we've got something more important to look at before we look at kits, unfortunately. We will have a quick look at the kits because I'm a rule breaker. I'm a rule breaker. Which one's your favourites? Is it the one which we're going to be wearing next season? 2019. I like the collar. I wasn't a fan of 2020 at all. I quite like this season's one. I don't know about the new collar. I'm not going to lie. I don't actually care. I actually really don't care. It's a Europa League kit. It's going to have a Europa League badge in it. And for that reason and that reason alone, well, amongst other reasons, actually, I'm not buying this shit. Sorry. Visit Rwanda. No, what? We're working in fucking collaboration with the Tory government as well. Yeah, it's not for me, mate. Sorry. Sort your shit out, Arsenal. Fucking buck your ideas up. You're fucking associating yourself with some fucking frauds, I swear to God. What's this? Hold on. Oh, we're going to be cheering for Norwich. And after that, we're going to take this club to the next... Oh, let's listen to this. The next level. Oh, is this Manipulation 101? Tactics FC, PRFC. Here we go.
Just a quick reflection. I think it's been a long journey again and a very challenging one this season, but I think that we have come a long way as a club. And as a team, I think we have transformed the energy, the vibe, and the expectation of this football club again. And we've done together, showing incredible unity between the staff, the players, everybody involved at the club, and especially with our people, which has been incredibly supportive throughout the season, especially in difficult moments. And now I can sense that they have the hope and the expectations to move this club to the place that it deserves. We've done it the way we predicted with the project that we set a year ago, with a lot of young players, with the senior players helping, and with our crowds again in our stadium, and with a real sense of connections around the place. So we are back in Europe. We don't know where. Tomorrow it will be decided. Hopefully it will be Champions League, because I believe that tomorrow we're going to do what we have to do, and we are going to be cheering for Norwich to do what they can do for sure. And after that, we're going to take to the club to the next level. And that's the ambition. In order to do that, we have a very clear plan again, how we want to do it and execute it. And it's all no secrets. We need resources, and we need to increase the quality and the depth of the squad, as long as the same way maintain who we are as a club, and the people that we have next to us. And that's going to be the challenge the following season. But hopefully tomorrow in front of our people.
I actually really do agree with a lot of what you're saying. You know, I am very disappointed. You got to take everything that I say with a pinch of salt. I'm broken, in fact, because this has been fucking year in, year out bullshit. It's been too long since we've been at the top or even competing. I want to be in the Champions League. I make no qualms about that. But I do agree with a lot of what he said. And he is sort of putting pressure on the people upstairs to spend more money and back him even more, which I think is a risk. But given the fact that he signed no forward players apart from Willian, no attacking players apart from Willian, and seemingly is just hell-bent on getting rid of everybody that Emery or Wenger has signed, apart from Xhaka, I do need to see this window, because we're going to need to pull something special off to convince me otherwise that this isn't going to end in tears. As it stands, and I know that we're not going to be playing with the same side, but I've got no faith that we can actually win the Europa League. Maybe you feel differently. Let me know your thoughts in the comment section below anyway. We've got more questions and comments coming through thick and fast, so I'm just going to go through some of those. Rizzo X8 saying, what's he saying? Rumours saying that Gabriel might be off to Juve. The Saliba thing is just sad. Lifelong Arsenal fan not getting a chance. Truly generational talent. Look, I'm going to level with you, lad. There's no way Gabriel's going to Juventus. Absolutely not happening. We cannot seriously be getting rid of centre-backs who we spent 30 million on, as well as Saliba, surely. I refuse to believe that that is even a thing. I'm more convinced that he will actually sign a new contract, so I wouldn't panic about Gabriel, if I'm honest. However, I would say that I agree with him asking for more money, reinforcements, him saying that for us to be a top club, we're going to need to add, because I look at the squad. The last game was actually shocking. I'm seeing Cedric. I mean, fucking hell. Who's that guy on Twitter? He calls him Dedrick. That's your new name, bro. Dedrick Suarez, the most finny player. Fucking hell, you may as well be from Finland. Fucking shocking. Absolutely woeful. Which muppet decided that this Dedrick is going to be on free kicks and corners? Oh my God. No. This is what I mean. And we've given the other corners to who? Saka and Odegaard. Consistency of a bumpy road. Yeah, you know those roads that have been sort of worked on for 18 years. You're just seeing workmen on fucking once every 6 months. No work getting done. Potholes everywhere. We're having a laugh. The deadest of Dedricks. And on the left-hand side, you got Nuno. No, 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 no. It's fucking no, Tavares, mate. No. You're not Tavares. You can't be a Tavares, bro. The real Tavasians, yeah, they don't. He's a left winger. Let's be honest. He's not a fucking defender. He needs to go on loan to learn how to defend, and then maybe there's a chance because there's an athlete in there. But again, is he a wing back? Is he a wing back? Are these guys who are at the helm, are they capable of actually pulling in the player profiles that we need? I'm actually not convinced, bro. I'm genuinely not convinced. The situation with Nicola Pepe is another one that we should probably touch upon with Arsenal and Mikel Arteta looking to cash in on Pepe from the sound of things, and reportedly happy to take a £40 million loss, which is just incredible. Let me bring up this tweet here. Got a little tweet from the Twitter sphere. If you have got anything that you want me to go through, please do send it in. I will be getting through as many as possible in the next hour. Arsenal are ready to sell Nicola Pepe at a huge loss of more than £40 million this summer. The club are exploring ways to get Pepe off their wage bill, and a loan could prove more likely. So, here we go. Not only have we got the likes of Lucas Torreira still out on loan, not only have we got Aubameyang being paid through the nose, £7 million reportedly, to leave the club and play football for a club who actually do end up getting Champions League football. Not only are we getting rid of Guendouzi, who was valued at £70 million for about £7 million. You know, we're falling out with people left, right and centre here. Pepe is clearly an Emery signing. Is that his biggest fault? It does seem so odd that he was willing to throw Nicola on against Newcastle for a good 15-20 minutes. When 2-0 down, though, of course, when all desperation and panic buttons have been hit, when there is clearly no actual opportunity for you to fucking do anything because the game's done, bro. What is going on here? Are you genuinely trying to clip the fucking guy down? You've ruined his confidence. Are you trying to devalue our asset even more? It seems you're completely clueless, because he came back from an international break at Africa Cup of Nations looking like an absolute fucking true baller, scoring world-class goals against France, and I'll be honest, he looks fucking awful every time he comes on. But his output is quite good. Stats-wise, numbers-wise, goals and assists-wise, if Nicola Pepe produced the same numbers that Bukayo Saka has this season, I'll tell you what, lads, you'd be fucking scrutinising his class. I'll tell you, don't lie to yourselves. The truth is, we've completely mismanaged this guy. We've not, I've not, you've not, he has, they have. You, it's you again, isn't it? It's you. You've written him off for whatever reason, you don't like him, and we've not made it work. I think it's disgraceful the way that they've treated him, and I'd love to know what really actually happened, because there's no denying that he will flourish at another club if he is given consistent game time. Maybe in another league, maybe that's what it is, but it's very odd to me how a player can go from being so sensational one year to genuinely an afterthought at best. And again, in hindsight, it just shows you how wrong we got things with Unai Emery, who told us, I don't want this guy. I don't want him. He's trash. I want Zaha, the ready-made, bulked up, souped up version, who wants to play for us already and has been playing in the Premier League for God knows how long. There is no excuse anymore for Arsenal not going big in the window and signing attacking players. But do you have any faith that they are going to get that right? Let's not forget that Reece Nelson has been sent on loan for the best part of 2 years now, given the fact that we signed Arteta's only attacking player in Willian. Reece is going to be playing in the Europa Conference League final, I believe, against Jose Mourinho's Roma, who have Tammy Abraham up top, who has just broken a Serie A record for the most goals scored in a season by an Englishman. A player who, again, Arsenal fans would have turned their nose up at, but who could really have proved pivotal, or actually the difference in us getting over the line as far as Champions League football goes. And I'll be honest, mate, that's all I want. That is all I want. It will always be a failure until we're back there. I hope everyone understands that. I don't care what kind of dream you sell me, what kind of excuse you give me. If this club are not in the top 4 in this country, we have failed. And every year I say the same thing, but you will learn eventually that it is going to become so difficult. I think it may already be. It is going to become so difficult, so jam-packed, that there's no more space. There's no more room at the inn. Yeah? You are no longer invited. And this is why the Super League was actually crucial for Arsenal. You little mugs. You absolute little mugs. You should have bought that all day long. Oh, you should have snapped their hand off and gone, oh, mate, love it. Let's do it. Super League. But no, you wanted to listen to fucking, what's his name? Splinterface on fucking Sky. Yeah. And his squeaky little mate, Danger Mouse. You wanted to listen to them two parrots. You know? Giving you the proverbial fucking Sky. Oh, the fucking phrases they were coming out with. It was actually laughable. How brainwashed and gullible people are, that you don't think that they love their monopoly so much that they're terrified of letting go of it. Oh, do me a favour. I am so sick to the back teeth of paying fucking hundreds of pounds a month for this fucking clown show on my TV. What a joke. What an absolute joke. You know the worst thing about it is? The worst thing about it is we've done it to ourselves. Done it to ourselves. All of this praying for this, praying for these players, praying for these signings, praying for this. All this was fucking irrelevant. All you had to do was act properly in January. But yet again, I maintain you have died on that hill. Norwich are not going to save us, bro. They're not going to save us. They're not going to save us. No way. No way. Okay, I've got tweets. I've got to go through a couple of tweets. Oh, we've got to talk about this as well. Oh, mate, it just gets better. Who could have fucking forgot about this? Oh, mate. All or Nothing. The Arsenal documentary. Mate, listen, Callum, right? What you don't get is that you're already in the Super League, mate. You're already in it. Just not been named the same thing, that's all. They've done exactly what they said they were against. And you will see that with the new Champions League format. It is different only in name. And it benefits Arsenal in no way whatsoever. So I hope you're happy with that one. So that's great. Anyway, the All or Nothing documentary. Who's looking forward to this? This Amazon Prime exclusive original. I don't want to do advertising. There are other platforms, networks available. But I tell you what, this is going to be special. It's going to be really special. I really do want to know exactly what's happened throughout Arteta's time, but we'll start here. We may have a situation where we can watch this together on Twitch. So if you have got an Amazon Prime membership, go over to twitch.com. What's it called? Twitch.tv. I can't even remember what it's called. The link's in the description box below, but I'm going to do a watch along with it because it's going to be fucking sensational. What a watch. What a watch. If you enjoy, what's it called? Sadomasochism. If you enjoy being kicked in the nuts, yeah? If you enjoy being belittled, laughed at, yeah? If you like getting called washed as an individual, this is for you. This is for us. Yeah? This is for all the dons who've been waiting 18 years for a transitional stage to finish. You fucking clowns. How many dreams and projects have we been sold? This is what I mean. 2010, lad. 2010, 2011 is the season that we fucking got battered 8-2. 8-2. You remember that? Yeah? Frimpong, Carl Jenkinson. Yeah? I can't even remember what that guy's name was. We've got Andre Santos. Yeah? Okay. 2010. It's 2022. And we're falling short. This documentary, much like what was the Netflix one they did? The Formula One one with, I've forgotten their names, Max Verstappen and Lewis Hamilton, right? Fucking hell. Fixed. Nonsense. Absolute fucking nonsense. It's like WWF. All scripted bullshit. So, I expect drama tomorrow. I expect something mad to happen. And I wouldn't be surprised if it was something like Arsenal winning and Spurs drawing. You'll be close. You'll get close. There'll be a moment. There might even be a moment during the day when Norwich are winning and Arsenal are winning. It won't finish like that. But that's why it's called All or Nothing. We're not really getting nothing, though, are we? We are getting European football. That is something. It's more like or. It's just not all. We're not getting all. We're not getting nothing. We're getting or. They should just call the documentary the Original Reaches. Out of Reaches. Yeah, Out of Reach. Oh, just or. Love it. Out of Reach. Yeah, mate. Good God, what a fucking joke. What a life. What a fucking club. My sons. Okay, let's move the conversation on. I know. Who's up on Twitter? Let's have a look at the old tweets. All right, let's go through some of the questions on Twitter and on the YouTubes. Up here we have got Hugh. Lost interest in football after moving from Denmark to Canada when I was young. You've gotten me back into it. Oh no, mate. Up the bees. Okay, well, I tell you what. They've been doing fantastically well. Are you, I guess he is Danish. He's moved from Denmark. So there's a big Danish contingent there. Sensational. Thanks for getting involved, Daniel Coyle. Much love to your mother. You're an absolute hero. Just call it nothing for Arteta. Hairline or nothing. Let's go through some of the other stuff that we've got to talk about today, though. I know people really want me to just, I know you want me to bury him. I know you do. I have stated already, fifth is not acceptable. Fifth is not success. Fifth is simply the given. That's got to be expected. That's the bare minimum. Right? This is a part of being sold the dream. You finished. You've been given a side that have got to a fucking Europa League final, mate. Finished 2 points off third. Yeah. We're now into the third. What is it? 3 years. 2.5 years. 3 years. I'm losing count of the years. We're moving into the third 3.5 years. This is it. I wish I had that picture. Where's that picture? Someone send me that graph which shows the top 4 positions and the league positions that we've done this season, over the last few seasons, because that really shows the real decline, the real drop-off, and how we are now only actually, because of this Europa League qualification, we're just back to where we started again. It's a massively missed opportunity. And unless we are given God's grace tomorrow, they deserve criticism. And you can bet your bottom dollar that a lot of people are going to be completely done. They're going to have seen way too many signs of you messing this up. Scraping sixth, fifth, after being bottom of the league at the beginning of the season is not an achievement. You shouldn't have been bottom of the league. Yeah? Telling us that you have fixed the defence. Fantastic. Clearly not true. Right? Clearly not true, because you're buying defenders to replace the defenders that you bought to replace the defenders you said weren't good enough. Make it make sense. Where is your talent ID spotting? I'm not sure. I'm actually not sure, because you can't even begin to say that the board haven't backed you. Look at this guy. What's this? I don't want to see pictures of Edu drinking wine. Everyone's allowed to have a steak and a wine, all right? I'm just going to break that down for you, mate. Steak and a wine. Yeah, it's not a bad thing. We're signing a kid called Marquinhos. We've signed him for about £2 million. He's Pepe's replacement. Let me just let that sink in for a second. Our club record signing, right? Nicola Pepe, who was signed for £72 million, right, is being replaced by a Brazilian, who I'm sure that Edu is behind the signing of, who we're bringing in for £2.1 million. Now, we're actually doing this, I think, as a result of a loophole in his contract, which means that Sao Paulo would have lost him for free if they didn't cash in and take something. And I've got to be honest, he looks like he might be better than Pepe already, but he is a carbon copy of Joel Campbell. We've signed a young Joel Campbell, lads. Which is funny, because I thought Joel Campbell had left a while ago. Exciting name. I do like his name. It's an elite name, and it is going to be Arsenal's first summer signing, the Marquinhos. Let me know your thoughts in the comment section below. Is Marquinhos the answer to Arsenal's problems? Is he going to force Bukayo Saka to move over to the left-hand side? Where do you see Saka ending up? Do you see him playing on the right-hand side all the time? Is he actually best at left-back? Well, I don't know. That'll rub a few people up the wrong way, won't it? I tell you what, Bukayo Saka is Arsenal's best left wing-back. These are just the cold, hard truths that you don't want to hear. Luis Suarez and Dybala are both free agents right now. Would you take them both? Paulo Dybala. I saw him crying on social media. Disappointed to leave such a great club at Juve. He's a number 10, so when I saw that Arsenal were giving, the Smith Rowe, the number 10, I did think that there would potentially be players down the line who you could attract with a number, and that would probably be one of them. Is Dybala going to be interested in coming to Arsenal? I don't know. He had an amazing sort of situationship with Cristiano at Juve, but he's not everyone's cup of tea. I think he's an absolute baller who Arsenal would be blessed to get their hands on, but it's incredibly unlikely. Both free agents. Luis Suarez. Again, we're a little bit late, aren't we? A few years late. We like to do that though. Yeah, there's a few free agents going around, flying around that should be interesting clubs. You've got Paul Pogba, you've got Lewandowski, you've got Luis Suarez, Dybala, two names that are not coming to Arsenal. All right, there you go. Stop kidding yourselves. What's your opinion on the other Arsenal YouTube channels about? What? Okay, number one waffler, make it make sense, bro, and then we'll do the question. Make it make sense. Okay, we've got, who else have we got? Fraudfather, my son. What do you think of the style of football Arsenal play at the moment? Whatever happened to fast-paced counter-attacking football? Balls over the top, crosses, headers, defence-splitting passes. Well, we're crossing it in, are we? If we're crossing it in, we're crossing it into midgets because no one in the team is above 6 foot tall. Not the front, anyway. We shouldn't be doing headers, and we don't score headers. We miss headers from close range, especially the likes of Lacazette and Eddie Nketiah. Defence splitting passes, that's a myth. It doesn't happen at Arsenal. I think you saw against Newcastle a guy who's capable of controlling the pace of the game with pass out wide, passes to in short space, passes in close, tight spaces, passes between the lines, passes defensing. Yeah. Bruno is a classic example of a great midfielder in the Prem, probably one of the best out right now. We don't have anyone in our side who can do that. We actually have El Neni, who may well have only played 6 or 7 games this season, but realistically doesn't have the balls to pass between the lines. We've got Granit Xhaka, who would actually rather hide behind players. I see what you do, bro. If you're watching, I see what you do. I'm not a dickhead. I see what you do. You shirk and you hide behind and you point. Pass it to him instead of making space and making yourself available. So no, no. Balls over the top, yeah. Ben White likes to do balls over the top, thinking that he's David Luiz. He's not quite mastered that one just yet. Maybe a bit harsh. He's got that in his locker, but not perfected. What do I think about the style of play? It's incomplete. We're an incomplete team. We've played well in fits and spurts for 10-minute periods for a half, or if we go ahead into lead, as soon as you score, it's over. As soon as you concede, it's over. It doesn't matter which one it is, actually. The style of play changes instantaneously. And what's actually happened throughout is he's shown as a manager that he's not capable of being at his best because he can't rely on what he's got as a squad. That's a fact. Thomas Partey is a classic example. He wants to be able to play him in a 4-3-3 as a lone six. That's not possible if the guy's constantly injured and on his way out, which he clearly is. He's on his way out to the next party, if anything. Fact of the matter is, we don't have competition in places. You've got sort of, what are they? They're like, what do you call them? They're like backup players like Lokonga. Lokonga's not capable already of slotting in and being competitive for that position, and as a result, tactically, you've got to completely change things when you've got to use those type of players, and it's nonsense. That is going to affect Arsenal, but that is affecting every other manager as well. The thing is, every manager in world football, you and I, if we actually have not got the attacking players, have the ability to create a setup, a structure, which means that we don't concede a lot of goals. That's fucking basics. Burnley can do it. Stoke did it. You just defend for your lives, right? It's not that I'm saying the science of defending is simple, but that's just a thing that you don't need an incredible array of top-class talent to be able to execute well. What you do need top talent for, what you do need attacking flair for, creativity for, is scoring goals. What do Arsenal struggle with the most? I'll let you work that out. Our squad is going to be on vacation, so at least you'll have a big home win to end the season. No, Incorrect, unfactual, fake news, false. Falta. Here's the myth, right? The myth is that these guys are now on holiday and they're done. They've got nothing to play for, and as a result, they won't be professional enough to turn up. Right? I'm not buying that. I know they might have had a little drink, they might have had a little party, they might have been over the top, Dominic might have gone and bought himself a new handbag to celebrate. But he will also, personally at least, specifically, want to prove that he can do something against Arsenal, who may well have a vested interest in his future. There will be players there who know that they're on their last legs, maybe at the club. They will be playing for something. More to the point, I would be more worried. I'm telling you, I would be more worried about tomorrow now that Everton are safe, because the nerves and the desperation that could have surrounded them, it could have engulfed their whole persona if they were panicking and needing a win. It might have led to a mistake or two. Someone doing something stupid at the wrong moment. Now, they're playing without a care in the world, and that's often when you're at your best. Fearless. Nothing to lose. See what you got. We've got a couple more tweets and we will go back to the YouTube comments. So we've got a couple more. My actual son, who's that? Canacho. Much love to your mother for getting involved. I hope you're enjoying the stream. Noah says, how important do you think mindset and mentality are in pursuit of a goal? And do you think that separates the average winner from a serial winner from your experience, whether in professional life? 100%. 100%. I cannot express to you how important your mentality is in general. I know people say this sort of in a very blasé manner these days. It's one of the most overused phrases out there. It's, oh, it's not their mentality, it's not right, and da-da-da. It isn't the be-all and end-all, but it is, I reckon, at least 75% of all sporting endeavour. If your head isn't in it, it's not going to work. More to the point, if your head is in it, it's more likely to work. It's unquestionable, and it is the reason why the most elite and the greatest sportsman of all time, my uncle is a classic example. I'm very proud to say that my uncle won 2 Olympic gold medals and was a world record holder for over a decade. And he got to that position by having no friends, working every day on his craft and missing all birthdays and all Christmases because he was training. There's no time to do anything else except be the number one. And that takes an incredible amount of mental strength. I think he's got friends, right? Don't get me wrong, but he made a lot of sacrifices, and that is how you become the greatest. Yeah. So I believe that mindset and mentality in pursuit of a goal are absolutely crucial. Yeah. And he says, adding to the first point, do you think mindset and mentality is the most important factor in succeeding? Oh, the most important factor. Yes. Yeah, let's do it. Yeah, 100%. 100%. 100%. Jeez. Sort your head out, yeah? Your whole life and your whole life experience goes on up here. So if your head is good, then you're good. And your life is good as well. Happiness, something that a lot of people are chasing as some kind of destination. It's not. It's a choice that you're going to make in your head. Choice. Like that, right? It's difficult for a lot of people, especially those who are going through stuff upstairs. I hear it. However, once you've made the choice, you're good. I like to think of it like this, right? If you can imagine all your sort of experiences in your life, you're going to give you some kind of feeling, right? So let's say scoring a goal, for example, because I'm trying to link it to a sporting endeavour. But if you can imagine the feeling that you're going to experience when you score a goal, and you can fine-tune your mind into tapping into the feeling that you would experience when you score that goal, by being more in tune with that frequency, I believe that you're more likely to score goals or be open to scoring goals because you're used to that. It is how you're built. It's what you're going to crave. It is what is going to drive you, fuel you. And that's the same for anything. It can be for YouTube. It can be for personal goals. It can be for saving money. It can be for chasing women. It can be for anything. Your mentality is genuinely at least 75 to 80% of it. Don't get me wrong. If you stink and look like a bum, you're not getting that pum. Yeah. So, excuse me. Sorry. Excuse me. Wow. Jesus Christ. I've had too much already. But with the right mind state, you can actually look like a right mess and still do very well in these streets. Okay. Right. Let's move the conversation on because I'm getting a little bit wild out here. Noah, appreciate you getting involved, my son. We've got Hugh. Are you going to watch Nothing Amazon documentary? Nothing. Yes, I guess indeed. Look at this. What's this? We've got news. We've got breaking news. We've got lots of other stories about the not about the Arsenal that we want to go through. So let's look at this. Leeds United and Burnley are threatening substantial damages and legal action against the Premier League and Everton because they believe that Everton have seriously breached financial fair play regulations. It looks like Alisher Usmanov and Farhad Moshiri have got more problems on their hands. This strikes me as slightly sour grapes, but it's we have seen stuff like this happen with Derby County recently. Players are going to be having their lives changed. If you're relegated, you're not on your way out, but it's a massive downgrade. You can expect your life to change. Is it a desperate last gasp plea for the loser of these two, or will it actually be pursued? I don't know, but the two clubs have sent a letter saying that they reserve the right to take legal action against the Premier League, and they demanded details of what, if any, action or investigation the Premier League has started, because Everton did record or have recorded losses of £372 million over the last 3 years. And Premier League profit and financial sustainability rules allow you to lose a maximum of 105 million. So they've been out here splashing the cash, losing 200 million more than they're allowed to. Why have they not been penalised? Should they even be allowed to play without being docked points? Let me know your thoughts. I mean, maybe just win the game, right? Win your game. Leeds have got to beat Brentford. Arsenal have got to be playing Everton. So just win your game. Oh no, wait, it's Burnley, isn't it? Burnley are playing. Who are they playing? Is it Villa? Wait, I just closed my eyes and tried to remember, but I can't remember. Brentford, Leeds, and Burnley, Newcastle. Oh, mate. Newcastle not at home, but oh, mate, if it's anything like it was against Arsenal, then they've got a right fight on their hands. Okay, here we go. We got more Twitter and more YouTube comments to go through. Who's this? Seeing that you don't think Arteta is the right manager. I don't like this question, you know. I'm not a fan of this question. I'll tell you why, right? I'll give you an example. There's plenty of managers, but for example, today, I think Rose he's left Dortmund. We could do worse. But there's plenty of managers, mate. I've seen Mikel Arteta being outclassed by Eddie Howe. I've seen him being outclassed by Graham Potter. I've seen him being outplayed by Patrick Vieira. All of those teams have inferior squads to Arsenal Football Club. It's a fucking cold, hard, stone cold fact. Make up all the excuses you want. Have the injuries, have the COVID, have the fucking breaks, have the cancelled games, have the wind, have the grass, have the bumpy pitches, have the refs, have the reds. You're losing. You're getting outplayed. Your football is fucking dire in comparison to Graham Potter, mate. He's playing sexual football. It looks like a fucking Jessica Rabbit type football. Who are you? You're looking like the Goonies. Huh? Scraping 1-0s and then the game just changes. No. There were signs that there was pretty stuff at times, I can't lie. I started to see confidence when they were playing out of the back. I like that, but everyone can do that now. I started to see a couple of patterns, a couple of triangles. What I saw against Brighton was he was so outdone. It was embarrassing. And what Potter did was beautiful. It was actually beautiful. And it was very visible from the sidelines. You could really see 5 men engulfing our midfield and their 2. I'm not being funny, but there are levels. And it's fine. I've said this all along. He's learning on the job. He's going to make mistakes. And he's definitely not the finished article. You're dealing with managers who've played in multiple European leagues at multiple different levels. You've genuinely just got on board. So, of course, there are better coaches or better managers out there. What he can become is what we're going to find out, I think, this season. Who would I hire that's available at this moment? Who's available is who you buy. That's who's available. You see, you. What job do you work in? What field are you in? Tell me, Mr. Nufflove. Let me see. To explain is to expose. Oh, mate. Oh, mate. You are so... Did I just... No, you're lucky. Oh, my God. You're cancelled, bro. You're actually cancelled. Why have I just scrolled down and seen what I've just seen? Bro, you're finito out here. You just nearly got me done. Oh, wow. Wow. Oh, wow. Mate. Oh, wow. That was unreal. Late Night Fraudulence, indeed. Mr. Nuff Love. Mate, you like the love, don't you? You like Nuff Love, yep. You really are. Yes, indeed. Wow, the less said about that, the better. What's this? This page doesn't exist. Oh, people are deleting tweets. I do that sometimes. Don't worry. If Leeds go down, we should sign Rafinha and give Saka some rest. Yes, indeed. Juve supporter, watch Serie A every week. Scamacca is that Don. He'd be perfect for you guys. 6'5", extremely technical. This guy's name is coming up a lot. Not convinced. I've got to be honest that he's as good as people say, but I hear it. With us struggling to control games, do you think spending big for a midfield is more important than spending big for a striker? I do think it is important, and I do think that the midfield market is much more favourable right now than the striker market. But I tell you what, we're doing this again, and I can see you accepting it already. You're going to go through another fucking window, aren't you? And you're going to go, oh, there's no strikers available. Who did you want me to sign? That fucking kid or that guy that I'm only going to fucking go and make a bid for in 6 months? I can see it now. I can see it now. We need a striker. We're going to need 2 strikers. We probably need 2 strikers and a wide man. We need a right back. We need a left back. We need a midfielder. Maybe we need 2 left backs. Thomas Partey, you need a replacement. We're going to have to talk about that soon. Okay? We need a left winger. We need a midfielder. Quite clearly, we need number 8. We need a guy who could actually do the 6 as well and not be fucking breaking half the time. We need a left back who's not going to break. We need a left back who's not shit or just struggling to defend or play the game of football, you know? We need a right back who's not finished. Shopping. That's what we need. Shopping. Incredible. Yeah, name in every position. That's what we need. Yeah, that's what we need. You don't like the sound of that? Truth. People don't like the truth, though, do they? They don't like the truth. Do you think Arteta's general approach to players that mess up and get frozen out like Aubameyang is still a good approach to the squad, despite some of our best players leaving? No, it's not a good approach, and it's quite clearly being proven that it's not a good approach. Listen, if they made it to the Champions League and if they make it on Sunday, we got to eat some humble pie and say, wow, you've made a very brave decision and you got away with it. Well done. That's amazing. Congratulations. If not, we say you're a fucking idiot, and that's negligence. That's how it works. That's actually how it works. Because it's laughable for you to think that this could work. I don't even understand how we're here, really, talking about this being potentially a good way of dealing with things. No, we're potentially going to lose a world-class centre-back. We're potentially going to lose a French international midfielder for fucking peanuts. No, we've lost him already. We're falling out with everyone who speaks French. Anyone who speaks French, you're finished at this club. In fact, it's probably time for you to move out of North London. Brexit has fully arrived. And Brexit has gone full Brazilian from the looks of things as well. I mean, I've been sold a lot of dreams over the years, lads. I remember the Spanish contingent. Then do you remember the Germans turned up? Yeah. Then it was all about it was all about Africa. We're doing Africa. Yeah. Now, where are we now? What are we doing? We're doing Brazil. Yeah? Brazil. Okay, I'm here. But we've done with France completely now. And the future of French football is not coming to Arsenal. We're not coming to us. The Portuguese and Brazilians, yeah, maybe. The French are done with us, bro. They're done with us. Tu ne parles. Tu ne parles. Yeah? Tu ne parles. What's that? Tu ne comprends pas? Oh, eh? Yeah. Malheureusement. Seulement. El Brasileiro. Yeah, arriving at the Emirates. Edu and his Brazilian connections. Indeed. What's this? Madrid Extra. Oh, Marian. Marian. Oh my God. Mbappe is renewing. Is this? Yes. I mean, the decision is not final, is it? Wow, this is a turn up for the books. Is this real? Yes. Yes. This is what people won't yet understand about getting into bed with the likes of the owners of PSG. PSG, where Verratti gave a really fascinating interview, actually, where he said regarding his contract renewal, it's not up to me. They'll tell me if I'm renewing or not. And that's what this is. I know that there are two offers on the table. Two offers are potentially exactly the same. And this could be a ploy by Florentino Perez to sort of really rub it in to PSG. But I'm not going to lie. I would imagine they really are offering him the world and more. Decisions, apparently all decisions, whether it's coaches or players or signings, Mbappe could well be having a say in if he is to sign that deal. But a lot of people see him not moving from Ligue 1 and PSG as some sort of failure, which I am interested in. I have a very different opinion, I have to admit. I know this is going to upset a lot of people, especially Marian. Marian, my son, I gotta say, mate, I actually think his legacy would be greater by staying at PSG. I know you're not going to like that. But he has the choice of becoming one of a number of Real Madrid players who have won the Champions League for Los Blancos, or being the first to do it for PSG. I know that PSG do have a European title to their name. But it's obviously not the one that they want, and it's not one that anyone talks about anymore, is it? It's the same bloody one that Arsenal have got their hands on. Arsenal, or one of the ones that Arsenal have got their hands on, because we've got two. Yeah? But yeah, I think that he could well be the last sort of hope for PSG because the project's dead in the water otherwise. Lionel Messi has already confirmed that he is going to be leaving to play for and sort of part own the MLS side into Miami, which I can't even pretend isn't a bit of a disappointment given how disappointing he's been. It's been half of what we thought it was. It's not worked. It's being painted over by... Have you seen this new sort of goals and assists thing that people keep doing? It's like, mate, what's happened here? Goal contributions. 12 goal contributions this season. No, but he's got double figures in goal contributions. 99% pass accuracy and 12 goal contributions in 4 years. Mate, what's his name? Granite. Fucking hell. Oh my God. Oh, wow. Listen. Stop all this. Stop this nonsense. Mbappe signing on fee. 300 million net salary a year. 100 million. Wow. I mean, people that have watched this channel, like I said, I started this channel in 11, lads. 2011. 2012 or 2011? I can't even remember now. Oh, fuck, I can't even remember. Let me actually have a look. Point being, right, I've actually seen some players, I've actually been doing this so long, right, that I've seen some players' careers start and finish. Like Theo Walcott is a classic example. Theo Walcott's whole career as an Arsenal player, from the day that we signed it, from even before that we signed him, is documented on this channel if I unprivate the videos. July 2012. Okay, right. So it's not next month, but the month after that is 10 years. Okay. That means that, again, Kylian Mbappe is exactly the same. I've watched him on here documented from the day that I saw him and said, wow, that guy is the fucking Thierry Henry regen when he was 15 playing for Monaco, living on the fucking training field. Not in the training field, he's living in the flats next to the training field with his pops. Yeah? I've then seen this guy single-handedly destroy Ligue 1, destroy Arsenal with that team with, oh mate, oh mate, oh God. He's achieved it all. He's won it all. He's won the World Cup. I've watched him. I went to the World Cup final. I saw him score a goal from outside the box in the World Cup final as a teenager. 19 years old. And people are trying to tell me Arsenal's youngfc.com. I've watched fucking children lifting up the fucking Jules Rimet. Yeah? The Jules Rimet. People going about Lionel Messi and fucking Cristiano Ronaldo with these fucking golden balls. Mate, they don't give a shit about the golden balls. They want World Cups. He's got one at 19. He's completed the fucking game, you bellend. This is the biggest thing in football. The biggest thing in football. The most electrifying talent. Even, I know Haaland's just signed for City, and Haaland is incredibly exciting, but Haaland is going to spend half of his time on the fucking injury bench, or what do you call it? I don't even know what that's called because I don't sit there. What's that called? What's it called? The place where they go. Listen, mate, he's broken half the season. He's only a child already, but he's broken already. And that will probably continue to be the case. The physio table. Okay, is that what we're calling it? Yeah, he's on the physio table for half the season. Listen, mate, I've had way too much. It's crazy. Jeez. Let's breathe. Listen, one thing I will say about Mbappe is his mum is his agent, or his mum is working representation for him. And mums have always got their kids, well, most of the time anyway, they've got their kids' best interests at heart. I wouldn't be surprised if there's a game or two going on here and there's a shock surprise around the corner. But don't be surprised if that surprise itself isn't you're a slave and you work for us. You cannot leave ever. Yes, we'll pay you because payment is what we do best, but you are fucking stuck here, like it or not. In fact, if they lose Lionel Messi, if they lose Kylian Mbappe, that would leave Neymar, because the likes of Di Maria are leaving for free anyway. And to me, that would signify the end of this project. And at that point, I would begin to question, what are they actually in it for? Are they actually in this because they wanted the World Cup? They've done that now, and it may well be soon time to see the back end of this once amazing dream. But, you know, people will say the oil money remains. The money isn't going anywhere. I beg to differ. It could leave at any point. As could this guy. But this is something that I fucking find interesting. Who sent me this? Who sent me this? This is why you shouldn't mess around with me. This is why they actually call me the fucking fraud father. Because I can actually read. I'm not a delinquent. Yes, I've got books in my yard. Unbelievable fraudulence that some of you can't detect. And that some of you are fucking lapping up like little dog lickers. Listen to this, word for word. Sources. Fucking sources. That's where you know fucking bollocks. Anyway, straight off the top. First word. Here's a bollocks tweet. Sources have told ESPN, Arsenal did not expect to finish in the top 4 this season. Oh, okay, right. So fantastic. They were being realistic then, because that was realistic. But this is bollocks. Right? That's the first word out of their arse is bollocks. Sources, fucking bollocks. Huh? The next words are bollocks as well. Arsenal didn't expect to finish in the top 4 this season. Stop right fucking there. So, let's go back to the beginning of the season when we're 4 years old and we're trying to fight 16-year-olds. Obviously, we're not fucking ready. We're not going to finish in the fucking fight. We're not ready for a fight. But with new information, we reassess. Because now you're 16, you fucking bum. Now you should be fucking ready to do fist fights outside. Step outside now, it's your time. Arsenal did not expect to finish in top 4 this season. What, even in January, when you were fucking clear and you were closing in on 3rd and you were fucking gone from your rivals with games in hand, even then, okay, bollocks. But that's not what I'm talking about. Let me pick this up here. And therefore, because they didn't expect to finish in the top 4, therefore, their long-term budgeting has not been significantly affected by the recent slump. It's not been affected because you were never expecting to get into the top 4. You were never expecting Champions League football. Great. So nothing's changed. You're still splashing the cash. So why then does the next fucking sentence, the very next sentence, read like this? That will make the deal for Gabriel Jesus harder to pull off. What? Am I a fucking dickhead? Huh? This is a classic example of how the wool has been pulled over your blind little eyes, you short-sighted little dwarf. Yeah? You short-sighted, bald little dwarf. You've been sucking all this up, haven't you? Huh? So your long-term budgeting has not been significantly affected, if at all, because you never expected to finish in the top 4. But now, this is somehow harder to pull off. Huh? Wake me up when you're waking, because right now I'm actually done. Who's this? Who is this? I mean, clearly English is not your fucking strong point. Words are not your strong point. Legalese, please. Unbelievable. How you could be so contradictory within the same fucking tweet. It's 140 characters or less. Please, entertain me. Just make it make sense. Unreal. Oh, unreal. Just unreal. In a week's time, says Mikel, when we're all on holiday and we look back at what we've done, whether we are in the Champions League or the Europa League, I think everybody will agree that we did more than was expected. No, I don't agree with that at all. I don't agree. He's basically saying it doesn't matter whether we finish in Europe or the Champions League. We've done enough. We've done well. And you haven't. I'm sorry. You've done the bare minimum. And you've done the bare minimum with Manchester United in the most transitional stage of the fucking last God knows how long. Clueless. Their players have been running around like a blue-ass fly chasing this fucking... Who is he? Who is he? Ralph. Ralph fucking wrecked it. He really did wreck it. Chelsea have got away with this a little bit. They get away with it because of the success that they've had in cup competitions. But in all honesty, I look at players like Lukaku, who cost £100 million. He scored about 8 goals in the Prem season. We've not heard a sniff about this guy, who was returning from Italy as one of the most improved players in world football, wasn't he? Unbelievable new figure. What an incredible new figure he had. Wow. Lukaku looking like an absolute dream. I mean, he'd clearly been in the gym. He'd clearly been drinking nothing but fucking, I was going to say horse placenta, but he looked healthy. He looked ready to take on the Premier League. We haven't really talked about the fact that it hasn't worked and they're going to need another guy, or they're going to want another guy at least. I'm not going to dwell on them because they're safe. They have the security of winning European competitions to fall back on. They have done stuff that Arsenal can only dream of. And you can point to that being because of the years of the financial backing that Roman Abramovich has given them. Rent-free, debt-free. You could also say that they should be challenging for me. They should be challenging. And we will get to them as well. We'll get to them. I am going to do another video on Sunday. So after the results, after the 4 o'clock games, we'll come back and we'll have a little chinwag and we will go through club by club performance ratings, season thoughts. Let's have a little thought on this guy. Hopefully, I am not alone in feeling like I can support players who play for my club whilst also wanting them gone. I've had enough. I expect better. And I appreciate that you are one of the only players who really is sort of made of anything gutsy. But I really was embarrassed when I saw Newcastle United tearing your arsehole into fucking 14 pieces, dipping in with the biggest... Let me just slow down. Summer transfer window is an incredible opportunity for Arsenal again. And you know what Arsenal are like with incredible opportunities, don't you? We all do. I'm really hoping that Arsenal can see the bigger picture and that Arsenal fans' eyes were opened by a performance like Bruno Guimaraes was able to put on against Arsenal. Technicals were on point. He scored a goal. He looked like everything that we need. He actually he got the fans going with the simple stuff. It's not always just the players who go past a man. Sometimes the simple work rate. Sometimes, let me give you a classic example of a player who actually blew my mind the other day. And I totally get it. This is an example of how fucking backwards Arsenal are because you've got none of these dons. Let me get a picture of this guy before I bring him up. See if anyone can think of the name. Who was I super impressed with? We're playing Southampton against Liverpool. An example of everything that Arsenal aren't. An example of everything they don't have. Everything they need. I know people can point to the easy ones. There are some easy names in there that you could pick out, like Luis Diaz, who looks like an incredibly exciting player. He's one of those players in the transition who can make things happen, you know, magic moments of individual brilliance that really can save managers' arses, especially when they're sort of backs to the wall jobs and everyone's evening each other out. People are going to point to the obvious. It's none of the obvious. This is the main man who actually controlled, changed the game completely. What a player. Oh my actual God. Sometimes it is just the simple things. Sometimes it is your experience that is going to carry the youngsters over the edge. Sometimes the other guys around you are talented, like a Curtis Jones, but just slightly unpredictable, slightly unreliable, not always 100%. This guy is on fucking point, lads. I cannot explain it. This guy's been playing Premier League football since I was a teenager, and I'm nearly pushing 40. This guy has basically done it all at the top level. And whilst many will just look at him like a bit part, he came on when Klopp was able to change God knows how many players so that they can save their energy for what could be not only a treble, but a quadruple. He has carried them over the line completely with some amazing stuff that makes Granit Xhaka look like a fucking bang average delinquent don. How dare you try and carry yourself over the line by throwing our kids under the bus when they've saved your fucking Clark more than you've done shit for us over the 6 years? Huh? You're talking about you shouldn't have fucking turned up if you didn't have the balls. If you showed one fucking iota of the talent, the work rate, the commitment, the reliability and technical brilliance that this guy's got in his locker, you'd be a half-decent player that I wouldn't be slagging off on a regular basis. But, newsflash, you're not. You could learn so much from watching a guy like this. Go and watch that game if you can. If you watched it, you'll know. Those kids are running around like blue-ass flies trying to make things happen, too desperate. This guy is calm, composed, and before you know it, opening up magical holes. Jesus. Bruno was, in a similar way, tearing Arsenal a new one, opening up left, right and centre with energy, aggression. He is cracking into you to try and win that ball back, but he's doing the simple stuff very well. He's got it out wide, but it's forward. It's not backwards or sideways. He's through the lines when it's available. It's a little pop. It's a little flick. Invention, creativity, top midfielder. How much? 30-odd million pound. Okay. Dithering.com, Dithering FC, left in the fucking background again. And look at us, look at us, look at us. Pathetic. Look at the £50 million signing. Look at you, look at you, look at you, look at you, look at you. Wow, unreal. And do you know what? Do you know what? This couldn't have happened to a better club. Do you know that? This couldn't have made, I couldn't be happier that it's Newcastle that actually got the money. Ah, mate. When you love football, right, you can relate to other people that love football. I know real football dons. I get stopped in the street by football dons who want to talk. And bro, I've got a life to get on with, but I can tell you want to talk football. I will stop and talk football with you. Newcastle is like that. They breathe it, they eat it, they sleep it. They're having sex in their fucking Newcastle tops, bro. Make no mistake about it. Make no mistake about it. Kids are born into little fucking tops. How they've managed to keep fans going back through all the madness that they've been through, bro. Arsenal fans, we would have crashed out. I guarantee it. They wouldn't have turned up. Huh? Through relegations. Huh? No, bro. No. What they've got is amazing, man. And finally, it looks like they all believe like they're going in the right direction. They've got the dream, they've got the lottery ticket, but finally they can see it happening. The style of play, mate, come on, man. It's acceptable. It's, if not acceptable, it's actually excellent. We're borderline excellence at times. If they are like they were against Arsenal, or even the home form in general, since the turn of the year, I think it is, they're moving in a very, very dangerous direction because now they've got more money than everyone put together, mate. If there's a player that they want, they're getting him. They're getting him. They're getting him. Oh, there's no space in the top four. You've blown it. You've actually blown it. You've blown it. Mugs. What absolute mugs. And like I said, couldn't be happier. Deserved. Karma is a beautiful thing. To see it unfolding in front of your eyes whilst Bruno Guimaraes is able to do tweets showing fucking how happy he is, how much he fucking wanted to do that against Arsenal, how much of a grudge he had to bear. It's beautiful. These are the storylines and narratives that make the game so entertaining to watch, even if it is at the expense of your own club. I don't want to hear, though, anymore about how Granit Xhaka is our best player. Yeah? Hopefully, you lot are either awake enough now to know that that isn't good enough or that he's not good enough. One or the other or both will do. Cheers. Nice that we can finally move on from that one, though. Yeah? Cool. Unreal. Unreal. Listen, lads, it is 2:45 a.m. If you enjoy Late Night Fraudulence, if you want more of this type of content, all you got to do is smash a like on the video. If this video gets 2,000 likes, we will do another one tomorrow. However, I'm thinking that the most likely thing is Sunday. We have the Champions League final tomorrow, of course. I'll be doing a video at least for that. But like I said, if you want more of these, you just got to just show me, basically. Just show me. We will make it a very regular thing, and there is always going to be plenty to talk about, especially with the transfer window coming up, especially with it not being done tomorrow. We've got the Nations League coming up. We've, of course, got the World Cup and, I guess, the new season before that all happens to sink our teeth into. Let me know where you are with everything as well. Are you actually done with Arteta now? Are you thinking that he deserves another year? Do you think that we have no power or say anyway, so we may as well just get on with it, and we've just been beaten into a corner? Do you think that fourth is now the minimum objective that will prove progression, and therefore, if that isn't achieved, should he be fired? Where do you stand in the Europa League now in terms of where we go with that? Let's say that things do, like we're predicting basically, we do end up playing the Europa League. Is winning the competition the bare minimum requirement? If we were to fall out again in a round of 16 to Olympiacos or otherwise, would that be another sackable offence for you? At what point is... I really need to know what your cut-off point is. That would be sensational, because I do have a cut-off point. In fact, if I'm honest, and I have to be honest with myself, I said it was top four or I'm done, especially given the chance that we had. And I believe that from a business perspective, it was incredibly negligent and almost a sackable offence, if not so, for Vinay, Josh and Arteta to have done sweet FA but weakened the squad in January. That is the hill that unfortunately it looks like you've died on. We've got plenty of super chats. I'm going to go through a few of them now. We'll do all of them now. We'll skim through the ones we haven't done. So we have got JB Parisien, my actual son. How are you coping with this Mbappe malarkey? We've got that going on tomorrow, I believe. Is it the announcement? If someone can let me know, that would be sensational. Rohan Vyas says, check Nico Schirra on Twitter. Juventus want Gabriel. Yes, Juventus want Gabriel. Just the same way as I want... Who do I want? I've got my missus. Yeah, I don't want anyone. I got it all. Do you know what I mean? Jeez. I'm good at this. Gov, thanks for getting involved, mate. Ellie Propek says, Everton, you've never shone so brightly. The spirit of the Blues is well and truly alive. Sensational scenes for Frank Lampard, who is being celebrated, incidentally, for taking a team from 4th to 4th with Chelsea, from 16th to 16th with Everton. We should perhaps be evaluating why we're celebrating non-starters, non-movers. Again, I think we're being hoodwinked here a little bit. I'm not sure what's going on. Dylan Taylor, thanks for getting involved. He says Ollie made top four. Yes, Ollie did make top four. He made second and third, didn't he? It is a failure for me. I'm sorry to say that. I know a lot of Arsenal fans aren't going to like that. It's the facts. It's a failure. Especially given the opportunity that we had. 5th is fine. It's okay, but I'm not going to celebrate that, mate. No, not me. You can do that. You do that on your own in the corner. Harry Haas, 22 months. What an absolute legend. Harry, mate, I love you, bro. What an absolute hero. Ellie Propek says, our boys in blue will play at the Emirates in our beach clothes. Keep the faith. Norwich might get a result. It's never over. It's never over. Jeff Buckley, incredible. Love you to do a deep dive into Kroenke's ownership of the Denver Nuggets. They invest very little from what I can see. Denver. I think they've got Jokic though, haven't they? Is it Denver that's got Jokic? Yeah, they've got Jokic, so I think, were they in the playoffs? Are they in the playoffs, mate? Mate, where's the playoffs? Oh, mate, are you following the basketball playoffs? Is Kroenke's team still in it? Ooh, we're playing now, are we? Yeah, it's time for me to go, lads. We've got Stefan, my brother for another mother. We're going in. Oh, we're 53-34 down. Okay, right. Polly 160 says, much love to you. Danny Gavin, cheers from Seattle, my actual son. Need to see you out here for Seattle Portland Day. Mate, I've been already. I don't know if you realise, but there is actually a video on my channel of the time that I had in Seattle for the Seattle Portland game. I had the time of my life out there, I guarantee that much. But I definitely want to come back. 100%. Don Garber, talk to me. Yeah, let's make it happen. Yeah. Right, we got Kian says, Hugh, do you ever consider that Arsenal's history is all that it has? Maybe they just need to accept going forward that they are simply a Europa League team. I think a few people have accepted that, and that's why they're so comfortable with it, mate. I'm not ready to accept that totally yet, although the reality is that Arsenal aren't even a Europa League team. I guess technically they are now, but that will be when the competition starts, so technically you're not, yeah? You're a non-European playing entity. Gov says, what do you say? Arteta's shown no ability to manage a game or big personalities. Xavi plays a similar style, but got a tune out of Oba. It's slightly different in La Liga, can't lie. He gets played in a lot behind. He's given a lot more chances as well. But I think that's in part down to how Arteta plays. We do play a very particular way, and it didn't really lend well to Aubameyang. That's just a fact for me. Pindingo says, just remember Willian's 3-year plan when he signed. Willian was signed, I guess, on the basis that we were going to win the Champions League in 3 years. I guess we would have needed to qualify for the Champions League this year for that to still be true. He could have actually done it. If Norwich, bro, if you can pull this off, Arteta can still keep that promise to Willian, even though he's gone. Royal Mail, much love for getting involved, mate. You're an absolute hero. 16 months, a true fraud. Adabambo says, but it's all okay, Hugh. The new kit has landed. I've injected Arsenal's last 2 games directly into my veins as a Chelsea fan. Wow, big fan since the kickoff. Shout out Jimmy, Conrad and Rachel. Man, incredible scenes, mate. You've been about. We've been about. We've seen it all, mate. We've actually seen it all. We've seen it all, mate. We've seen it all. Patrick Flannery says, Mbappe to stay. Salah will go to Madrid, unfortunately, and Arsenal's failure will allow us to sign Saka as his replacement. That's not going to happen, but I appreciate you getting involved. Mbappe to stay, I can believe. I can see one of Salah or Mane or Heung-min Son or maybe Mahrez, Riyad Mahrez could go. I think those are the real options unless they can pull Mbappe off, but it'd be really disappointing if they don't for them because it's sort of what they've put everything in. Chris says, put it towards the new shirt. You're a hero, my absolute son. Let's just hold back on that shirt just yet. Aram Hekmat, Wolf Cola, Rizzo, regrettable Spurs fan says, come on, Hugh. 5th is really good for Arsenal. Getting bantered by Spurs fans, incredible. Graham Tulloch says, where do we go from here? Arteta out. Guna since 1997. Simeone maybe? Can we attract him? Well, look, this is the thing. I do maintain, because he signed this contract, it doesn't mean it's over. We're not stuck with this guy for 3 years. If it's not working, you've got to go, mate. So If we are knocked out of the Europa League or we don't get top 4, then perhaps we will be moving on. And at that stage, I think it's okay. We're still going to be in a place where we've built a better a more solid foundation for the club to work on, and any potential top class manager should be able to do more with what they've got at their disposal than what they had when he turned up. I do worry that a lot of the pieces to his puzzle will be profiles that he's selected for a system, and that system may be something completely different to what the new manager wants. But this is the risk that you run by backing a guy continuously, even when you're seeing signs that show you shouldn't. Woody Buzz says, Hugh, check players with 1 year left on contract. That is a separate video. We are going to do that though, Woody. Jonathan Smithson says, need more players to have koalas. Yes, indeed, we do. Ack Comedy Gooner says, Hugh, oh no, we've done that one. Joel Linton is actually in the chat. Joel Linton, incredible, mate. Salute you. You're an absolute true baller. Wow. Turn your whole life around, didn't he? The richest club in the world will overtake Arsenal. We are not here to take part. We are here to take over. Oh, God. Okay. And JDP 1989 saying, why let Ainsley Maitland-Niles go? Perfect cover for left back and right back. Literally had that conversation with a friend earlier. I hope that things improve, because we've made so many questionable decisions. It's got my head fucking smashed against walls quite a few times in the last few days. It's been a really nightmarish few days, I can't lie. I hope you're doing okay anyway. We go again, one last hurrah. Saturday, Champions League final in just a few hours, and then the Premier League finale. Join me live and exclusive on your boys channel. Links in the description box below to all the social media platforms. Do follow me on Instagram. I'm on there on a regular basis. You can catch me on Twitter 24 hours a day. Well, I look at it occasionally and then I'll respond, blah, blah, blah. But you can catch me over there. Feel free to DM me anytime on any of those platforms. I'm on TikTok as well, for some reason. I'm on TikTok, and you can let me know not only your thoughts on any of the topics that we discussed tonight, next week, okay, Champions League final next week. You can let me know not only on the topics we've discussed tonight, but any that you do want talked about in future videos, right? So just leave those down in the comment section below if you've got anything in particular that you do want talked about. But I'm going to love you and leave you for now. It's been an absolute pleasure, but my throat's a bit parched. I'm going for a fresh, cold Canada Coca. Yeah? For now, though, I'm going to love you and leave you. My name's Video with you, and this has been, jeez, the latest of late night fraudulencias. Meine sons.